himself a crossover. Oh, killer crossover. Just crossover. It just crossed him over nastily.
Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
Crossovers powered by Everlow Concrete Repair at Omaha, everlowconcrete.com. Hello, boys, on opening day eve.
Hi, guys.
Baseball Eve.
Baseball Eve. That's what MLB Network has been calling it.
Not weird at all.
They've been previewing Baseball Eve.
I would love to have Bobby Witt Jr.'s hair.
I would love to be Bobby Witt Jr.
Ooh.
Look at him. Look at him.
I'd rather be Chris Bryant.
He's got the beard going now, too. He's growing up right before our eyes.
How he is involved in the play ball organization. How come that jersey's not dirty? Bobby Witt Jr. is dirty before the bottom of the first.
That's exactly right. Because
he gives all his heart and hustle and love.
I don't see Juan Soto's jersey being dirty.
I don't think anybody.
One of my guys. Yeah. Pete Crow Armstrong, his jersey will be dirty.
That's true.
Well, he's got to get on base for it to be dirty. I mean,
But when he does, he's dirty.
Do you think there are some players that intentionally get dirty?
Yes.
Like if you're a quarterback and you guys are, or like any player, and you're playing like on a grass field, do you think at some point you like on the side just slide on the sideline so you got a grass stain so it looks like you played?
I used to do that after the games as a kid when I wasn't dirty. I would drag myself down the third baseline on the chalk. I would just drag myself down like it was a kid who didn't know how to crawl yet.
And it probably made your mom really happy because God, now we gotta wash the jersey.
Yeah, it's like Connor.
It's a kind of a psycho thing. But when I played hockey, I always wanted like blood to end up on my jersey. I thought it was just really cool if like you were playing and you had like spots of blood.
It is cool.
So it's like I one time got like a bloody mouth and I was trying to like spit so it would drip down onto my jersey so I could be like, look, I bled, Dad. Look at me, Dad. Am I tough enough, Dad?
Look how
Dad,
hard
do you
I
love
played.
me?
We have some drinks that are going to be on the way. They're being shipped here. They are NIL drinks.
NIL drinks.
NIL drinks. So
tell me everything.
Is it Amigos in a bottle?
It does not have anything to do with the state of Nebraska. Listener who lives down in Manhattan in K-State country.
Okay.
He said, you guys talk about NIL all the time. He goes, guess what just showed up in our grocery stores? And I said, Bill Snyder tortilla chips. Avery Johnson, the quarterback at K-State, has a drink, an NIL drink. It's strawberry lemonade.
Let's see.
It has just come into the grocery stores, apparently, in the state of Kansas.
Is it energy drinks or
no,
is it just?
Doesn't look
it's
like,
just straight
he
up.
sent me a screenshot. It doesn't look like it's an energy drink. It looks like it's like just a regular strawberry lemonade, kind of like the Arnold Palmer type.
Look at that. It's in a purple can.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
One of those tall, skinny cans, so you know it's good.
See
these?
Can we not have any food items around here with our local athletes?
I like a lemonade. I like a strawberry lemonade. This is good.
Like that seemed like we have the jerky. Like there's a lot of the offensive linemen that have the pipeline jerky.
Well, this is what's going to happen now because NIL is apparently canceled again, and it's going to have to go through this whole clearinghouse. That definitely will work out.
So if it's over $600.
Over $600. Definitely won't be cheating again.
There definitely won't be.
Can we get 1 million people to donate us $600?
Right.
Well, no. I mean, it'll be what's going to stop. You know what? This might be a really stupid statement, but if I donate $5.99 on one day, and then a week later I donate $5.99 again, that's not.
You're a donor.
But that you can Can you keep doing that day to day to day to day?
I mean, if you're buying the drink.
Yeah.
You're buying the drink.
Oh.
So I did not see the price. I imagine it's probably like $4 or something.
Let's see.
I mean, it's not the 99-cent go to Walgreens and get the Arnold Palmer
those give me
in the tall can.
Yeah, what's the cut for Avery here?
I don't know, but I am kind of surprised we've not had any athlete that has done something like that.
I'm waiting for the Andy Jackson Jack in the Box combo.
Good one.
Yeah.
You have to get a Jack in the Box here first.
Yeah, I can't believe I haven't seen Dylan's face more.
I know.
No, you know what that is? So, okay,
is there a Boston market here?
Think about NIL.
Is there any more Boston markets here?
I don't think so.
The one that was
we lost the one in Lincoln.
Miracle Hills.
The one on
is
114th and Dodge closed.
The one in Lincoln turned into a McAllister's.
Yeah.
I love a Boston market.
You do? You like a good rotisserie?
Oh my God. Get that with the potato wedges. Jeez, coleslaw potatoes. Oh my Lord.
The mac and cheese was a banger there as well.
Oh, Boston market. So underrated.
So think about like the prominent NIL athlete deals in Nebraska that we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
The Colas Crawford.
Yeah.
Then Nash did for 2 years.
Yeah.
Kalkbrenner, Pop Isaacs have the credit union
uh-huh.
commercial.
Oh, yeah.
I know the volleyball players had like a Borsheim's deal.
Oh,
They did F&BO.
Everybody
think.
did Hy-Vee. There were so many Hy-Vee commercials.
But we never saw him in Omaha.
Kalen Clark was there though.
Yeah. Like there have been athletes, you're right. Like Fedoni, well, it was bad to be on it because you probably didn't have a good year. It was Fedoni, Malachi Coleman, and there was a volleyball player.
Uh-huh.
I think Lexi Rodriguez might have been the volleyball player, and she saved.
Yeah.
You know.
They're all
And the Jeff
sponsored by
Sim-
energy drinks too.
Typical
Everybody has an
Nebraska
energy
volleyball.
drink.
He had the Jeff Sims Amigos meal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's infamous.
So that's the only really food one is the Jeff Sims one.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I thought we might, like Josh brought up, don't you guys think we'd see Dylan a little bit more? Like on TV commercials, not at
Mhm.
basketball games,
I just think
but
like
What was that? I'm a freshman and my dad's an NFL player. I don't need the money thing.
well, he's compensated pretty well. He's got the Panini deal.
why don't
Yeah.
Oh my God, a Dylan
card
Raiola Runza. I mean, that's just the way it rolls off the tongue.
why don't the
Can I get-
why don't the tractor companies get more involved?
Well, they
Case
did.
IH.
They did with Jeff Sims.
Mhm.
They had Acres.
Yeah.
yeah, Acres.
And then they shut it down when he got shut
all right,
down.
you're gonna get the Dylan Raiola tractor. Get the
Well,
Dylan-
no, you should get the O lineman like Rocco Spindler with John Deere. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Or get all the Nebraska-born offensive linemen and get them on a John Deere tractor deal. And it's just like an image of like 7 of them riding on a tractor with a beautiful field behind them.
Mike, our correspondent in Lincoln, says that you stop in Crime Town NILs everybody. They have a,
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, there's those gas
So they
stations.
forget
man.
about Omaha.
we don't have any U stop.
We have 1 million people here. We support Nebraska athletics.
Yeah, we're about to annex Lincoln.
Are we?
I mean, it's getting close.
Do we want to annex Lincoln?
I mean,
I like Lincoln.
I don't see why not. I could bump up the numbers at this point.
What part
Maybe they
of,
get an NCAA
But
tournament.
let's. What part
They
of
could
Lincoln?
claim an NCAA
Okay,
tournament win.
What part of Lincoln do we want?
They could
do
be like
know-
my
Yeah,
city's
yeah.
won an NCAA
Okay,
tournament game.
If Mayor Stothert gets reelected
Mayor
and
Opson.
like she says, you know what, I got to find something else. So we got the streetcar. Let's go to Lincoln and let's start taking over land, kind of like the president.
Yeah.
He's going to go to Greenland. What part of Lincoln do you want?
I think we have there is on how the population counts. We already have Eagle, which is basically on the outskirts of Lincoln.
Okay.
Because the rule is like a certain percentage of the people from the town have to work in Omaha.
So
right,
there's
that's
a
why
percentage of people from Eagle that come to Omaha.
Apparently, that's why we get Council Bluffs. Because
All right.
because
All right.
in the metro area population figures. So, start diving into East Lincoln. All of a sudden, Firethorns in Omaha.
I just want the Haymarket.
I gotta-
Just have Lincoln be Lincoln, but then a little, like how there's a little blue dot here. Just put a little blue dot in Lincoln and just says Omaha. And it's just the Haymarket. We'll take that.
yeah, but then we were the people at the Capital District here. Wouldn't they be upset?
I mean, they're an
I mean,
hour
they're
apart.
so yeah, they're
They're
so
so far
away.
apart. It's
It's
not
way out
deep.
west.
I
It's
will
way
tell
out in
you-
West Omaha.
I will tell you an area that Lincoln can keep
Mm.
because this happened to me when Miami played here in 14. I had a friend that flew up from Miami. So excited to take a Memorial Stadium. First experience. They're a Canes fan.
Alex Rodriguez.
It was not.
Oh.
But he was familiar with Alex Rodriguez. He said, that guy played baseball.
I saw
for you."
Alex Rodriguez at the rail yard that day.
Was he doing the ski?
He was
Ski
wearing
shots?
a very bright orange quarter zip, very bright, and he was very tan.
And from what some people said, very active.
Yeah, he was up
Okay.
upstairs at the top, and
So I'm telling my friend Phil about Memorial Stadium, Lincoln on a game day. We, because of traffic, we got off on Highway 6 and came in Cornhusker Highway.
sure, scenic route.
Mistake. Because I'm telling them about the campus,
There
the
ain't
stadium. You're
nothing
not going to
out
believe
there.
this. And all of a sudden, we're driving through industrial parks and not
Yeah.
the nicest part of Lincoln, like visually there on
the
Cornhusker Highway.
roads are a little crunchy,
And I could
Yeah.
feel him sitting in the passenger seat judging
Yeah.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah.
It's
Going by the Scarlet Hotel.
they should really think about just getting some different stuff along. You drive down Cornhusker and you're going into what eventually leads you to the stadium or like right on top of the Devaney.
the best thing
it
there's
is-
a Casey's. I mean,
Yeah, I mean barely. I mean
Yeah.
there's like roadside motels Like they're like, we have
Yeah.
HBO.
That's the so
and like, you know, Virginia's Cafe. Shout out to Virginia's Cafe. I mean, it's really good, but it doesn't like look aesthetically
Yes.
pleasing from the
Well,
outside.
the roads aren't paved either. Like the trees aren't really that green. It
like
seems
Phil
it's
was
not very
fired up
scenic.
because he was like, okay, tell me what U-Stop is, because they had the flag. And so I told him, and it would have been better if we turned on 84th,
Yeah.
but we kept going.
Yeah, would have been better.
Yeah. So that hotel,
Should have gone down Vine.
so that hotel, which is across the street from the McDonald's, that used to be like a lot of the teams stayed out there because it was large enough to accommodate them.
Oh my God.
And it back then it was like a Holiday Inn. Now I don't even know what it is. But
It's
you're
like
right.
a travel lodge.
It does still say we have HBO.
Hell yeah.
And plenty of vacancy. Plenty of vacancy. You ever stayed in one of those hotels? Motels?
I have.
Yes.
In Oklahoma.
I have too. It's
Well,
kind of a wild
So
experience.
the doors that open to the outside,
yeah,
not
yeah,
inside,
yeah.
I'm out. Stayed one time. Yeah, there were too many things running around on the floor.
Yeah, nothing.
Dixon, Illinois.
Nothing really works.
I was in Tulsa and we
The
walked
breakfast
in.
will give you food poisoning.
There was a burnt cigarette, like a burnt out cigarette into the carpet when I walked in. And then we tried like brushing our teeth and we turned on the faucet and it was yellow water. And we're like, we cannot, I was like, can't stay here. We went to Holiday Inn.
We have to go.
We went to a different hotel. We were like, we're done with it. We're not doing this.
Was HBO so big that it drew people into your hotel back in the day?
Well,
I
they
mean,
got
kind of.
HBO.
I mean,
Got to
I
stay
mean,
here.
it's got a big sign on there, obviously. I
If
mean,
every hotel is the same and one has HBO and one doesn't.
yeah. I mean, I
The
bet they did
TVs.
analytics. I bet they did like, hey, well, we put the sign up. We have an 18% rise in people who come in here.
I mean, you can go stay there for $40 or something like that, and then you don't have HBO at home, and you're like, damn, I had 2 nights of HBO. I'll knock out some stuff.
So
You think
It only
HBO
cost me $80.
Do you think it's good for HBO? You think HBO is getting an ROI on the fact that
They're in every motel in America.
Yeah.
So I have some standards, like any hotel that advertises we have HBO, not staying there, or in their name is the price of the room.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you're coming through Council Bluffs and you're coming into Omaha, it's by the old Greyhound track now, the casino.
Yeah.
They had a hotel that used to be like the $45 hotel.
Yeah.
That's what the name of it was.
Yeah.
I noticed that it's gone up.
Yeah, it's $68 now.
But they have HBO.
I bet they do have.
And I'm sure a lot of the truckers, because there's that big truck stop across the street, they're like, you know what? Give me some HBO.
It's all like, and all the people who stay there are, you know, like not all construction workers, but like people who labor for
Yes,
their jobs. They work outside. They wear bright colors.
Yeah.
when they like, that's all the people who are staying at these places.
and
So it's dirty. There's boots everywhere.
do you think there are longtime workers who are like, I remember when it was the $21.95 hotel? I mean, it used to be when this was a $27 hotel, it was popping.
You only hear about those hotels nowadays because there's one right by Westroads that if you go online and look at the reviews,
Oh, the American.
I think that's what it is. The reviews are really good.
I like an American. I've stayed in an American in Minnesota, right near.
Yeah, just get on Dodge and keep going to about 103rd and go to
The
that check.
reviews are very good.
So the reviews,
Stay at the Marriott.
so the reviews, like I don't know if they're paying people, but the reviews for the most part are pretty good. Like if you scroll through some of them, that might think, oh man, this is a nice hotel, and then they come in town for the College World Series, and you're like, what?
Oh, but the American is loaded
Yeah,
in June.
I've stayed.
It
Look,
is.
Yes.
It
Well,
is.
it's also probably one of the cheaper ones.
Has to be, and it's easy access.
It's also got a great name. I mean,
The
American.
American.
Oh,
in
Hey,
American
when you went to Pittsburgh last year and stayed in a hotel, did the hotel give you a card of where you could find the 4 channels that carry the tournament games? When we checked in Providence last week, they had
No.
cards that they gave you
Mhm.
that said, "Hey, on your TV, this is where you can find True
okay.
TV, CBS,
Huh.
TNT, and TBS."
no, they didn't.
I thought it
I
was
stayed at a
brilliant.
Holiday Inn Express, I believe, just outside of Pittsburgh.
is there a difference between the Holiday Inn and the Holiday Inn Express?
I don't know. Just branding.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
branding.
okay.
You don't get the
Are
Holiday.
you just quicker? Are they quicker?
I don't
at
know
the
what
Holiday Inn Express.
I don't know what the physical differences are. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
are
know
they-
if there are any.
Is it like the breakfast is out half an hour
Also, I feel
earlier?
like are there actually any Holiday Inns anymore? Or are they all?
Uh,
Holiday
Well,
Inn
what's so yeah?
Express?
And why was Express added? Why does there need to be the notion that it's quicker?
I don't know. Good question. There's on 72nd and Grover, I believe there's a new Holiday Inn Express where all those like those hotels are popping up.
Oh yeah. Oh
I-
yeah.
I-
Well, remember the one that burned down or burned
Here,
And
let me look it up.
They rebranded that into something different for the ninth
They did.
time.
They've redesigned that whole corner.
Yeah.
72nd and Grover.
That's right. I had to build the new on-ramp that goes. Yeah.
But still no Holodome.
So there's Holiday Inn and Suites, and then there's a Holiday Inn
okay.
Express
A Holiday Inn and Suites.
and Suites.
what's
So
the
I
one?
guess-
Hey, what's the one on the corner of like 10th and O when you go into downtown Lincoln?
I think
new.
that's a Holiday Inn.
I've stayed there before. That's a good hotel.
It's a great hotel.
It's a good hotel. It's a
Wow.
nice hotel.
Let's see the one in Skokie. See, yeah.
So let's go back to Skokie.
Well, no. The one I grew up right next to it, across the street from me. That was a Holiday Inn and Suites.
Holiday Inn and Suites.
I just wonder, is there just
This-
a Holiday Inn?
The one in Lincoln on the corner that I was just talking about is the Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Ooh.
Express and sweet.
Wow.
Express and Suites.
So you can get suites and everything is quicker there.
And yeah, it's best of both worlds, really.
It's quick and fancy. It's quick and rich. It's the Tyreek Hill of
Just
hotels.
don't stay in a hotel that the door opens to the outside.
Yeah, but you tried that a couple times in your life, and you're probably like, okay,
Or
That's
or
enough.
you stay in one of those hotels that is just a 2-floor and you have the room that looks into the parking lot with the door that opens to the outside.
Mhm.
Very popular in the state of Oklahoma, I've found.
If I'm in anywhere other than Florida and I can see the pool from my hotel, I'm not really that it worries me a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, if I could see the actual swimming pool, minus Florida, because you're outside, you're up on the balcony, you see the beautiful
Then you should
pool,
Google
landscape.
the Lani Kai in Fort Myers Beach, which
I told you guys this. I almost got murdered at a hotel
Hello.
at a Holiday Inn Express in South Bend, Indiana once.
Well, that's South Bend outside of Notre Dame. Ain't the nicest place around.
It was not on campus.
Not a lot of people know that.
It was not on campus.
How'd you
So,
almost get murdered?
you are a murder survivalist.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was just reading the context clues around me, and
For example.
There were a lot of people around me.
it got moving a little fast for me, and the door, it was late because we were driving across the country, and we decided to stay at this place
Sure.
overnight. And
You were how old at this time? I'm sorry.
this was 3 years ago.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
your current wife was with you?
Yeah, we were taking a honeymoon trip.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
that would have been
And-
bad.
In, in South Bend?
Well, no, we weren't going to South Bend. We were
Okay.
going to the East Coast, but we had to stop in South Bend. And one up to the doors, and it was probably, I don't know, after midnight, I guess. And the doors were locked because they, you have to go up
Yeah.
there and wave, or I don't know what they. And at that moment, we're standing out there. I'm like, the doors are locked to this hotel. That's probably a bad sign to start with. And then I turn around and into the little, drop off area. There comes a car, and they're kind of, looking around for a second. I'm like, let's go back into the car. Okay. Let's go back into the car. I don't know if it's going to be murder, probably robbery, something like that. But I was uncomfortable, as
Yeah.
uncomfortable as I've ever been.
No. I totally agree with you. If
And,
you're ever back in South Bend, though, you got to skate the varsity club.
yeah, I won't. I don't think that I'll probably check in that late at that place
Okay.
ever again.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had that before, where I've been so paranoid about a dark and not
It
being
doesn't-
able to get into
I'm-
somewhere.
I'm pretty aware of
thinking-
my surroundings, but that was the one time where I this is
Your New York IQ kicked in. You're like,
this is I'm in a
the
I'm in a
Queen's in you?
potentially dangerous situation right
the White
now.
Plains in you, or like fight or flight, and you flew.
Yeah, I flew.
On a side note, because we have MLB Network on the TV and Freddie Peralta is talking to their morning show, is that Bernie Brewer swinging a bat?
Yeah, it is. Look at him.
Is
Fat
that
Bernie.
their BP hat for the Brewers?
Looks like their spring training hat. Yeah,
Freddie Peralta's got nice teeth.
Oh,
that's a good hat.
that is a great
Mhm.
hat.
That's a good hat. Bernie,
Meh,
they should have got him sliding down the sled.
meh.
See,
Brewers-
yeah, I know we talked about it. You guys are going to talk about
Keep doubting.
basketball. Herbie, I think Mascots doing sporting activities is here. If they have Bernie Brewer swinging a
It's
bat
time.
Well,
on the Brewers hat,
Do you want?
now we got Herbie.
They have draw ups of all of the different Herbies doing
Mhm.
different
Yeah.
sports, and they have rights to it. I believe, by the way, the Jays are putting together something where
Billy's gonna be-
Billy will be doing
Really?
different sports.
Alien
Oh.
Billy or
Good question.
The correct Billy.
Old Billy.
Okay.
Yellow beak Billy.
Great.
Okay.
He will be doing some various other sports. So yes, if you see all these things appear on various items of clothing and uniforms, don't be surprised.
Would you buy a pantsless Clark the Club?
No.
Clark the Cub?
Any
Swinging a
mascot that's
baseball
not
bat?
wearing pants is out. I
like that as a general rule.
I mean, come on. Kids are coming up to the mascot and doesn't have pants on. Seriously.
I don't know why the Ricketts refuse to put pants on. They're just stubborn. They're
I
like,
gotta see this again.
He's got no pants.
Well,
Clark
they
the
shouldn't
Cub
have a mascot anyhow, but I understand you got to,
You got to appeal to
the older
kids.
generation. 2016 is a long time ago, so you got to get the younger generation, and so you get Clark the Cub.
But Clark the Cub was before. I keep messing up how I say it. Clark the Cub was before 2016, though. Was that like 2014, 2015?
I don't know. I don't think they should have a mascot. I don't think there should be cheerleaders at baseball games.
Wow. Oh, there was last night. I
Yeah,
noticed
there were
this.
twirlers.
Yeah,
That's different.
they
That's
brought
not
like
cheerleaders. Those
They
are
brought
twirlers.
twirlers, and
they had like a student. There was like a student thing going on because after the game, they had one of the players go up and talk to that group of people.
maybe a class.
Maybe possibly a class.
You spent a lot more time after the game. I was out.
Not a lot more time.
No, they had
It was amazing. I was home, but there was like kind of still some light in the sky.
Gary doesn't get paid by the hour.
Exactly, just by the game.
Neither does Connor.
There were.
I don't get paid.
So they have the twirlers.
You guys are getting paid for this?
who perform during the basketball games and hockey, and they do a really good job. It just seemed to be out of place at a baseball game. And then they had the dance team there, but I don't know that they ever performed.
Do you think it was in place when they lit the batons on fire and started twirling them at the Omaha Mavericks game?
Like they do at the hockey games? Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. Don't, I just asked about the basketball games, all right? You got snappy there, Odson.
Oh, no.
You snapped it.
I didn't know if this was like, okay, we do this at every sport.
I think everybody that twirls should have fire. Like, look at the Nebraska band. They're baton twirlers. They have fire. If you can't juggle fire, are you really a juggler or a baton twirler? That is like that's the prerequisite,
I think
right?
that's a good take. Yeah.
I mean,
if you can't, you could be
because
pretty
you should
impressive
learn.
at twirling without having to light them on fire.
I mean, I think you should, like, training to be a baton twirler. It helps you to set it on fire because if you grab the wrong thing, you're going to get burned.
Yeah, it's great training. Are all situations improved by fire? Are all musical situations improved by fire?
If you can't do it with fire, are you a good twirler? Yes or no?
There's got to be another license, an extra license you have to have for
And
that.
also, at what point in your life, as a youngster, and you're going through gymnastics and tumbling classes, do you say, you know what, the baton twirling is for me?
That I'm going to tell you
'Cause it's
something
not
right
easy
now.
to
Whoa,
do.
you got to
It's
be
not easy
careful.
to do.
You got to be careful because there are some people who their parents were twirlers in college and took it incredibly seriously.
Passed it down.
And they pass it down and they want their
Well-
kids to also be twirl. There are some, I'm just going to, because my sister's in dance and that's a whole thing. The twirling nation, that's a thing. People like to twirl. People will come after you.
I always wonder when I
Dangerous
watch
group.
them particularly at the hockey games. That's just where I see them the most. The learning curve on that, like clearly you twirl it without the flame until you can twirl it very well.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope.
The first couple of times you do it with fire, it has to be a little different, right?
The
It's
weight,
not-
you think the weight is a little off there?
I don't know. I mean,
Maybe the residue that you pour on the...
you got to be careful
yeah.
about the angles that you
Yeah.
come at
Yeah.
the baton with.
You don't know that you're twirling it wrong until you get burned.
Right.
What do you think the end game is for a baton twirler? Vegas? Like, can you be a baton twirler the rest of your life
Vegas?
and
Party-
make money?
No, mid-30s party trick.
Parade circuit?
I think that's the peak.
Yeah.
That's a fallback, right?
I think
Because
ultimately-
gymnasts, they, like the Cirque shows, recruit a lot of college gymnasts. But I don't know if they're recruiting the baton twirler.
what is that like? Is there a famous baton twirler that anybody really knows of by name? Like, is there a?
Could you name one
Yeah.
baton twirler
Could you name
that you're
one?
not related to
Yeah.
or you went to college with?
I bet the Melendez could do it.
I think they're still in jail.
No, some of them are past. They fell.
Oh, I was thinking of the Melendez's.
No, them.
Is it at the Menendez?
No, not them. Not those guys. Not those guys.
I have that Mark Jackson card. It's one of my prized possessions.
I would like to meet one member of that family that said the
Whoa.
circus is not for me.
I told you.
Not the Melendezes.
The
The Melendez.
The Melendez.
Like the one kid in the family that says the circus is not for me. And he's doing
I'm
something
going
else. He's
off
like
on
a
my
doctor.
Circus is outdated, baby. I'm going elsewhere.
They went off on their own. They just started walking on a tightrope
I know
in between
Josh found it.
canyons
Josh found it.
for Red Bull money.
I have stumbled upon the United States Twirling Association Hall of Fame.
All right.
Where is it located first?
Ooh,
Chicago, Illinois.
is it?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, the first
let's guess. Let's guess.
the first inductee is from Chicago. Bobby May,
Oh,
inducted in 08,
Bobby May.
one of
This
the
is
original
recent.
founders.
wait a minute. One of the original founders is the first inductee?
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
Right.
A little shady.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's got the.
It,
I
it
made
didn't
corrupt
go
as
over
hell.
well in the twirling community. It didn't go over well. They were really mad about
It's
it.
Chicago. It's corrupt as hell.
Yeah, I mean, I bet a daily is in there in the.
You
Hall
know
of
why they
Fame.
call it Chicago, Matt?
Why do they call it
It's-
Chicago?
Or they know why they call it the Windy City,
Why
Matt.
do they call it the Windy City?
It's not because of the wind. It's because of all of that hot air the politicians were blowing.
Yeah, I mean it's actually a thing. It's all the called the Windy City because all the crap we talk.
That's
I mean,
right.
That's where I get it from.
People are saying.
Can we also circle back now to the circus? Have you guys ever like publicly just acknowledged that outside of the people that talk about treating the animals, that the circus has become a scam? Because in the first act, the Martinezes are performing. The second act, the Rodriguezes are performing, and I swear to God, it's the same people that were the Martinezes. They went back, they changed costumes, and now they're the Rodriguezes.
Interesting.
That's-
I haven't noticed.
It's walking a
Next
fine
time
line.
you go to the next
Walking
time you
a
go to the
really, really
circus,
fine line
the
there,
Melendez.
sharp.
the circus in the
Careful.
parking lot.
The
Pay
Melendez
close
and the
attention.
Menendezes. What's the difference?
I think circuses are cutting back, so they just use one family and they give them like 5 different names for 5 different acts.
I know nothing about any circuses these days.
Yeah, I don't know the intricacies or inner workings of what the
You
circuses
guys,
are doing.
you guys would be blown away if you went to a circus that sets up in a parking lot,
I used to eat the circus animal crackers. Those were good.
or the circus peanuts.
The circus.
Oh,
peanuts.
those are the worst candy in the world.
They might be.
We used to go to Barnum
You don't
and
get
Bailey.
those at dentist's office anymore.
Mhm.
Every single year we went to Barnum and Bailey at the All State Arena, at the time the home of your DePaul Blue Demons, and we would be driving in, and when I tell you that there had to be like 1,000 people who would like line up and be protesting against the animals in the circus,
Yeah.
like you would be driving into the parking lot and it would be like a full on procession. Like my dad would be like, do these people not work tomorrow? Like why are there so many people out here? I mean, it was wild. And they had signs. It was like they're on strike. It was like an organized strike against the animals in the circus. It was quite the coming together of people.
I might have contributed to that because when the circus was in Omaha and it was at Civic Auditorium, and I went in the late '90s, they would travel by train, and you could go and see them get the elephants off the train, and then they would walk them to the Civic Auditorium.
That's cool.
It was actually really cool.
Yeah, that's
That is
very
really cool.
They'd walk them through the streets. They would block it off. People would watch them bring all of the circus animals. The elephants were outside.
Oh.
They walk them, but they had the tigers.
There's
in
an
the
elephant
cage.
walking down the street.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes I'd be outside of Memorial Stadium and I would just stare at that elephant outside of the Science Hall.
Mammal.
Mammal Hall. It'd be Mammal
Yeah,
Hall, right?
Mammal Hall.
Right outside of Mammal Hall. I just stare at it.
I think that's a
Wow, that's
woolly
big.
mammoth.
That's correct.
Do you know that people
Wow,
go
that's
and
big.
rub?
Seriously, I would just stand there and I would look at it and be like, "Wow,
Wow,
it's a
that's
big animal." Like, and I would like
That's
multiple.
where Josh went for vacation
I
last
did.
year.
Multiple times I'd like put my hand up on the paw because the paw sticking out. I'd be like, "Wow, that's cool."
That was the
big.
crown
ca-
jewel of our vacation
The
last year.
cavemen did the same thing back in the day.
Yeah.
Do you know that there are a lot of people that is a ritual on game days? Is they go and they rub the woolly mammoth because they rub it for good luck.
Wow.
It's like
Hasn't been
sense.
working.
it has been a tradition that's been passed down.
Yeah.
Find something else.
Maybe try a new tradition.
Yeah.
What
trying
did
to
you
tradition.
do on your vacation when you went there to the Natural Science Museum or whatever that?
Went through every brick of that building. Looked at all the dinosaurs.
Did you go to class? I had a class there once.
No.
I had a
What class
there.
did you have in that building?
I can't remember what kind of class it was.
I just had a class there.
Earth
I had
it was
a-
in the basement.
I had
Mhm.
I had a geology class there.
Yeah,
we just looked at
maybe.
rocks,
Mhm.
and we were
Yeah.
all
That
we did. We
tracks.
looked at rocks, and we w're like, "This is
rocks in there.
pyrite." And then we
College
looked
is a
at
huge
rocks, and we were
scam.
like, "This is granite." And then we looked at rocks, and we're like, "Oh, this is coal."
Moral Hall. I apologize.
Yeah.
Moral Hall.
We did a
We got
scavenger
mammal
hunt
here.
for
Mammal,
yeah.
Archie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
We found him. Don't worry. No big deal.
How did you rate your staycation capital city?
A lot better than I thought. I thought this
You went and got
is-
ice cream.
This
Was
is
it
maybe the
ironic-
stupidest thing we've ever
He
done.
went to
Why-
Ivanacone.
Yeah.
Really? You should have gone to the dairy store on East Campus.
I went to school there 4 years. I went to the dairy store once.
Wow.
Whoa.
You should have taken some grass classes.
East Campus was kind of, I don't know. It's just with my group, it was
Just say
kind
it.
of distant.
Just say it.
kind of distant. I never had
You
a
were not
class
an
over
egg
there.
student. You were not a dentist.
No.
Yeah.
I did go bowling over there, though.
You didn't drive a tractor.
We'd pregame, and then we would go. we'd
They
bowl.
had great lunch over there.
That's what I was told. They also have a good rec over there. They have a really good weight room.
There you go. You
Back
missed
in the
it.
day, Farmhouse was banging right next to the old Valves.
That's right. Yeah.
So they
Wow.
remodeled it.
A lot of going on over there on Holdridge
All right.
Street.
We spent a lot of time talking about Crime Town.
All
More,
right.
more Swim Town, please.
Yeah.
Swim down.
All right. So we're no on the annex. Okay. That's what people seem to be saying right now. But the poll question is up if you'd like to vote.
What?
Do you want to annex Lincoln?
What
I
if-
just
It's
want to. Let's just make Omaha all of the Mexican restaurants over there. I just want all the Abelardos and all the De Leons. And
We
I want
have those.
but I want those. I want those too. I just want to own all of those. I want every single one of those. Could be
You want
Omaha.
Mazatlan?
Yeah.
You want El Patrero?
I want and Neveria. I want Neveria as well. 5 tacos, $10.
Tico's doesn't exist anymore.
I don't- I
No,
think it
Tico's.
burned.
Tico. I just had Tico's like a year ago.
Okay. It was
It
on
did-
fire
yeah,
at
it
one
did
point.
catch on fire.
Hacienda Real.
Hacienda Real.
You know what?
But
Maybe
Hasito Lindo was
Hey,
also on fire
one
recently.
of
I
these
believe.
fringe mayoral candidates that really has no shot. Maybe we could get them to, at the end of the campaign, just go all in on annexing part of Lincoln and see how that goes.
Yeah.
Josh? Could be you.
Josh,
This might be your last.
I was
like,
sending a
ditch effort.
text. What am I doing?
It's okay.
you're helping us with the platform to annex part of Lincoln if you and your mayoral campaign.
I'll
What part
help,
are we taking again? Are we just taking
I'll help
downtown?
the city's growth.
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 Oh, that's
Progress.
good.
We'll get Waverly first,
Mhm.
and then we're going to Lincoln.
Yeah. Matt Rhule's
All
house,
these other
you're mine.
politicians don't want to see Omaha flourish.
Mhm.
Josh Odson calls for growth.
If Josh was the mayor, there'd be a Harney Street Bridge tomorrow.
I live here.
Yes. And you know what else I think you'd have? You would have a bullet train between Lincoln and Omaha.
Yeah.
We should.
And a real NHL team. And you know what? I wouldn't stand for a hole at 72nd and Dodge. It's a giant hole.
They're starting something. Something's happening. They put up construction things.
Hey, but the library looks great.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
it looks incredible.
I think we
mean,
should. We
Rest
should.
in peace, do space.
We should.
That's
campaign,
alive and well at the
Goes without
Abrahams
saying.
branch at 90th and Fort.
We should campaign for you like they campaign in student council in elementary school. Just make a bunch of like bright white cardboard, signs, and then just put them up above,
Good bit.
and have like
Josh for
rhymes,
mayor. All right. You guys have a great afternoon.
You have a wonderful hump day.
Thanks. I will. Okay.
What,
Futures bets
have you
today.
decided which jersey you're wearing tomorrow?
Yeah, it's going to be Bob.
Okay.
It's going to be Bob. Yep. I'll go full. I might even wear baseball pants. I don't even know.
Let's go.
Can you wear stockings tomorrow?
Hey.
Can you wear stockings?
I might wear stirrups. Yeah.
Stirrups? Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be one of the more incredible things if you walked in here in full uniform.
Yeah.
What's up,
tomorrow.
guys? What's up?
Hey, with
bat,
with a glove.
gloves in the back pocket.
The sliding oven mitt. All right. I'll have to go buy one of those.
He's got
Every
pine
show.
tar on the shoulder.
That's Crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. It's Wednesday. We'll start things off next.
That's the Crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Wednesday. It's the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Odson with you. We're going to speed things up here a little bit because Fred Hoiberg is talking today, and so Robin Washut will be occupado.
Crown prep.
Yeah, in 15 minutes. So we got to kind of get out of here. So
you cook.
Let me set things up today. Robin Washut will join us here in just a moment. Mitch Sherman from The Athletic will shift back to 1 o'clock today, and we'll talk baseball. Kansas City Royals baseball with Jake Eisenberg of the Kansas City Royals radio network. The Royals can be heard on 1620 The Zone and 1180 The Zone all season long. Also, it is Wednesday. I have an opinion. Get your opinions in, and we might have some Supernovas tickets for you all. That's the lineup, powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Want to hear from you all, 402-951-1620. On the hotline, call or text that number, tweet at Happer Show at Connor Happer. On the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed, email ConnorJohnShow at 1620thezone.com. On the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. Elsewhere on the show today, Mr. Yogurt says Fat Herbie is back, folks. Speaking of fat, or not fat, Matt Rhule sets the record straight.
Finally. Who's fat?
We'll hear from him. On this baseball league, we'll share some predictions with you all. Richard Pitino is headed to the Big East. Frame McCaffrey is headed to Penn. Penn, no state, ladies and gentlemen. We have plenty of things to cover today on the show. But let's get out of the way here and have a quick chat with Robin Washut of Husker Online. Coming up next here on 1620 The Zone.
the biggest basketball coaching convention of.
And work on your skills while you listen.
What?
You don't want them there. I'm talking.
What is going on? Robin, are you okay?
Robin Washut.
Are your kids near you, or what just happened?
Husker Online.
I took a lot of preparation to make this thing a flawless interview, and clearly I still can't avoid it.
Robin Washut, Husker Online.
Maybe it was aliens. Maybe it was a phenomenon that we can't explain.
The Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Robin Washut of Husker Online joins us now on the phone prior to talking some Crown with Fred Hoiberg here in just a moment. Good morning, Robin. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well.
You excited to talk some Crown?
I'm always excited to talk some Crown.
I think
highlight of my postseason.
The other thing, I mean, the main, well, I guess I don't know, but the main topic on everybody's mind, Nebraska basketball related, is probably regarding the transfer portal and where things go. Now, you can only get so much from the head coach as far as that's concerned, but I guess what are we expecting today as Fred updates us on things?
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to talk much about that. Maybe just generally speaking about the plan and priorities, and probably balancing portal recruiting with heading out to Las Vegas for potentially a full week. So there's just some kind of surface level stuff, but they're not going to get into the weeds today. But that doesn't mean news isn't happening otherwise. As reported yesterday, they're expected to host a first portal visitor, at least first known portal visitor, in Iowa forward Price Sanford, the 6'7" sharpshooter sophomore. He's, from what I was told yesterday, supposed to be here today, and the first of maybe a few visits for him. So that's kind of the first kind of off and running news as far as tangible portal recruiting. There's been other names that have surfaced, but here's a weird element that I think is relatively new. Maybe it isn't, but it's new to me about this. Like, so you see all these like tweets about so-and-so from West Valley Tech is hearing from these schools.
Yeah.
And per his agent. Well, it sounds like those aren't always the most reliable lists, because
Shocking.
agents are putting schools on there without ever having talked to any member of the school that they're putting on the list. And so, like, take those with a grain of salt. So when you see Nebraska on some sort of like 10-team list for some guy from, wherever state, there's a coin flip chance that Nebraska's actually even talked to that player. So it's a fun time. Just keeps getting weirder in this world of transfer portal recruiting, and it makes my life a lot easier just knowing that you can't believe anything that you see on Twitter.
At this stage of the game, I guess, are you looking to, is Nebraska's approach just sort of to see what kind of bites they get back in the transfer portal? Obviously, you have a general idea of what you want and what your needs are, but you need a lot, and they're going to have to take multiple players in the transfer portal. What's the approach in the initial first couple days before we move into sort of the next stage of what the transfer portal has to offer?
Yeah, this week is going to be mostly, hosting priority guys like a Price Sanford, but then also coaches going on the road and visiting, players in their respective campuses or meeting with their respective agents. So, I mean, it's not just like the traditional bring someone in for an official visit and hope to get a commitment. Like, and the other part of it too is that this stuff has been going on for months.
Yep.
Like the contact with third party, like, so like the idea that someone hits the portal and, all right, I'm ready to start my recruitment, like that's just not the way it works anymore. Like you just take a look at the number of guys with do not contact tags as soon as they hit the portal. Like they know where they're going, or they know who their target schools are going to be before they even officially enter the portal. So it's, it's different than it used to be. And that's kind of like where I know the initial reaction of playing in the Crown was like, well, Nebraska's not going to be there for potentially a week during the heat of portal season. Well, like, I don't know how much that necessarily matters, because like, look at Nebraska's portal class last year. None of them committed until April. And so like there's this first week is important, just to like get your foot in the door and kind of like, make sure that you identify your priority guys and try to get guys on campus before you leave for Las Vegas. But this stuff has been going on behind the scenes for a long time now. And it's not like Nebraska's just starting from scratch on these dudes trying to make up ground. The process in a lot of these instances is already well underway. And if it doesn't happen this week before they leave, I would expect it to just pick up where it left off as soon as they come back from Vegas.
Where do you think? What do you think Nebraska is targeting on? We've talked a little bit about the staff over your last couple times on the show, but as Adam Howard takes that spot on Will Wade's staff at NC State, what do you think Nebraska is sort of targeting as far as a type of person or a type of coach that they can get to replace him?
Yeah, that's a great question, because like, what do you prioritize now? I mean, they've got kind of their defensive coordinator, so to speak, in Nate Lenzer. They've got a established veteran coach who's kind of done it all at every level in Ernie Ziegler. So like, the kind of initial thought would be like, well, go get an elite level recruiter, but like, how valuable is an elite level recruiter anymore when all that matters is what your NIL offer is going to be? Like, I get that you need to have some personality and you have to have relationships and you got to be able to, help seal the deal. But, I don't know if like winning the living room or like that sort of stuff means as much as it used to. So like, for me, like, you got to have somebody with, some X's and O's chops that can give you something schematically and help you develop. But at the same time, if you got somebody that can do those things that just so happens to have a son or a nephew or former player that might follow him, through the portal, that could be a X factor in who Nebraska might target for that position. And we'll get clarity on that today. I'll ask Fred about just the Adam Howard situation, because nothing's been formally announced on that.
Right.
And it was just the On3 report that sources were suggesting, and I assume that's going to happen. We just don't have like official word on that. So we'll get an update on that today. And if that position does become open, the question is, what do they do in Vegas? Like, who fills that spot? Where they're preparing for opponents and coaching games. But then, what's kind of the long-term plan for filling that role, and what's Fred going to prioritize in that position?
Yep. All right, Robin, since we're up against it a little bit here, we'll let you go. Appreciate you sneaking us in, and we'll talk to you next week.
Absolutely. See you.
Robin Washut of HuskerOnline.com. Does he finish out the? I have to finish what I started.
Yeah, like you would hear that during a tournament run, but
I mean, Ryan Miller just did it.
Yeah,
right. He's now Adam Howard is not going to be a head coach anywhere, at least according to the reporting. He would be an assistant for Will Wade at NC State. I don't know. I do not know. Maybe we'll find out more.
Interesting situation, this whole crown thing.
You don't seem like you're a fan. What's up?
We've never done it before. I don't know what normal is.
Have you even crowned, bro?
I've never crowned before.
Never crowned. By
Maybe
the way,
during my birth I did.
Yeah, well, I guess yeah. Did you see the Mega NIL tournament? Speaking of Vegas tournaments, the Mega NIL tournament is going to be the most Mega NIL tournament that it could possibly be.
It's going to be March Madness in November.
That's the idea in 2026. So not this.
Which would include Creighton, yes?
Yes, I believe they signed up for 3 years.
Uh-huh.
So this past year being the first, which had a great field. And I don't know. I think there's maybe double the field in this upcoming fall, and then doubling probably that the fall after that. Everyone wants a little slice of the pie, don't they?
Big pile of cash, I'm in.
Yeah. I don't know where they're going to get the money to pay 32 teams $1 million. NIL. I don't know. I don't know if NIL even exists anymore.
Saudi Arabia.
But they're casinos, Jeff.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's a casino. But at the same time, are we moving into a world where you have to go through the clearinghouse thing to get the NIL deals, and right, like it's less of a pay for play system, with obviously some of the players getting paid by the university. It's very odd. Very, very odd.
I choose to not think about it.
I was talking about this with Mitch on the podcast this morning. This is just gonna when they do this in Rhule, when he talked about it yesterday, he seemed to intimate like, yeah, I mean, he goes, I've never been more convinced that, that's the way it's kind of going to be. The NIL is just going to be harder. And it's not going to work like it does right now. You have the $20.5 million that the university gets to pay out to their student athletes across the board in their athletic department. And then like you have to prove to this board, to this clearinghouse, that the NIL deal that you're getting is real, is an actual deal, and you are getting a return on on something.
Not like it was back in the day where, hey, I got a car dealership. Why don't you quote unquote work here on Saturdays?
Or more specifically, not like what it is right now, where they're just using the NIL to entice players to come to their universities, right? In fact, I think it probably goes a little bit more to like what it was back in the day, and they just do cheating. We just start cheating.
Whoa.
Cheating. We'll look back at this in 20 years and be like, what the hell happened?
What do you mean there were no rules? Surely there had to be rules.
No, they literally made cheating was legal for 5 years. Cheating was legal for 5 years. Cheating went back to being illegal, and then it was called cheating again. Very odd. And then the players were getting paid also at the same time. I don't know. We got a lot of problems, Josh. A lot of problems. All right. We'll reset the deck here to start the 11 o'clock hour. Once again, Mitch will move back to 1 o'clock today. How about that, Court? How about Fat Herbie? He's back, folks. He's back. And we'll hear from Matt Rhule on the show today. Get your opinions in for I Have an Opinion coming up at noon. All to come on a Wednesday edition of the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Bad. I mean, I thought it was Beat. I'd love.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, once again, in just about an hour, we will go through the opinions that you have brought to us on our weekly segment called I Have an Opinion. And we do have a surprise. Well, not a surprise for you all, but an incentive.
It's a pot sweetener.
The Omaha Supernovas are back at home on Friday to take on Vegas. A lot of Vegas references on the show over the last couple of weeks. Hashtag The Crown. That is Friday night at 7 o'clock, and we will be giving away a 4-pack of tickets to the best opinion giver, as deemed by future Mayor Josh Hudson.
I live here.
I live here on this show.
And we'll continue to live here.
Coming up this afternoon. So get those opinions in. All right, Josh, big news yesterday. I closed down social media for a little while as I was broadcasting a baseball game that started at 5 o'clock and ended at like 7 o'clock. It was very odd. Creighton jumping all over UNO. I don't know what was going on. The wind was blowing out to right. It didn't look like it, but ball was flying out to right.
Jet streams.
Jet streams. Let's chalk it up to jet stream. Anyway, 10-0 was your score last night. And I had social media shut down for a little bit. And when I got off, I went over to the For You tab just to see what I had missed. And it was filled with a Mr. Yogurt tweet.
Mr. Yogurt?
Mr. Yogurt, the athletic director at the University of Nebraska.
Dannen
had something that he wanted to say. And the picture he put up on his Twitter was this.
Oh, look at that beautiful.
Look at that fatty.
Fat boy.
Look at that fatty. He somehow is wearing too short of shorts, even though his legs are just centimeters long.
You can see his knees. I didn't realize that.
What's going on? He tweeted along with it, major needed upgrade coming to PBA at Husker WBB, at Husker MBB, hashtag love Herbie. So that's right. Nebraska is upgrading their basketball court. In fact, Troy Dannen got here and he said, what? We had a cool court and Trev ruined it? And then was like, all right, we're going to have to change this up. And he did, and just waited till after the season to tell people that they were going to do this. And here is the final result. But I asked the question, Josh, is Mr. Yogurt swagger jacking, stealing, the design of one Connor Happer, who tweeted this on February 11th, 2019.
Pre-COVID.
If you're watching with us on YouTube right now, yes, pre-COVID, it was a different time. But during that time, it was still calling for Herbie to be fat and be on that basketball court.
Just very quickly, let's address the allegations. Pre-COVID, Herbie's hands were just in support of the team. It didn't mean anything else, okay?
Oh, that's right. I forgot they had to change him because of the... That was so stupid. That is not a thing.
We're a stupid country.
We are.
Vote for me.
So, Herbie is instead of being translucent, I like him better translucent, to be honest with you. Yeah, I like my design better.
Okay. He's got weird feet in yours.
What? He's just a little
very wide.
He's just a little bow-legged.
Very wide. He is bow-legged. Get that boy some sun. He should be working in the fields.
What's wrong with that? Yeah, no, he's see-through. But in this one, he looks like a page of a coloring book.
He does.
And he's a lot smaller. I want him to be bigger. I want Herbie to be gigantic.
I would like the mid-court logo to be a little bigger, the Herbie of it all.
That's my one complaint on this. Obviously, this is a slam dunk. Great deal.
Yep.
For way to get the people on your side.
Players, fans, and broadcasters are going to love this because you can, he shot that from Ogallala.
The state outline is back. Mm-hmm. Indeed. So here, let's put this full one up here again. Yeah, people will be shooting from Omaha. That's for sure. And people will be shooting on the other side from, Scottsbluff. Ogallala. For sure.
I don't really know where Ogallala is.
It's out there. It's out there. It's in that Panhandle area. It's out there.
Okay.
Now, people, I wonder if this will be a talking point amongst the broadcasters who come in from the Big Ten, radio crews next year. They'll say, like, where is that? Now,
give me one. Just make me sound like I'm in,
Like Kugler will have it down.
Sure.
Kugler does half the Nebraska games on TV. So he'll have it down. He'll be dropping some from Columbus.
Should we tweet this photo to Connor Onion and add in a bunch of cities with like a diagram of where on the court it is?
Yeah, we should. Okay, so who should we tag? Sean Morris, Stephen Bardo. Connor Onion is a good one. Burmeister, our close personal friend Paul Burmeister.
He's listening now, so he's jotting down notes. Hi, Paul.
Yeah. Who else? You think we get any Noah Eagle going on? Probably not.
Probably. I mean, the team would have to be better, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Good question from the YouTube comments. From Heath, do you think anybody will be shooting from underneath Herbie's junk?
I mean, that'd be
in between the legs of Herbie. It's good.
Had to have a lot of stones to shoot it from there.
It doesn't hit the same. Like if you hit a half court shot, let's just say like a 3/4 court shot, and you're shooting it from Omaha or Lincoln all the way to the other side of the hoop.
Yeah.
It doesn't really hit the same. From Omaha. It's like, you're in Omaha, buddy. It's called Lincoln now.
We took it.
We still, it's like Omaha. Hey, everybody told me that's only 45 minutes down the road and it could be reachable in 15 minutes by a bullet train. Vote for Josh Hudson.
That's right.
So yeah, that'll be, it only works in certain circumstances, but Josh, there's no doubt about it, is going to get run into the ground. Used and used and used. Absolutely. But nice job by Mr. Dannen. Nice job by Yogurt.
Oftentimes, it does not matter how the right thing gets done, just that the right thing gets done.
On this show, we tend to roll our eyes about these types of things. Not today. Not for me.
Nah.
This is lovely. Great job.
You did the right thing.
Now, we have to talk about just this part for a couple minutes. Is Yogurt the anti-Trev? We didn't know what to think of Yogurt.
We didn't
at first.
I
think he was figuring it out.
He made it very clear, like, hey, I'm just
listening. I'm getting the lay of the land here. I'm seeing where the wind blows, and I'm gonna see. I'm just gonna wait in the bushes for a little while until I pounce. Well, the things that he has done would never be done by Trev Alberts in a billion years. In some cases. I mean, once again, Trev took the state outline off the court for his brand identity thing, or his brand, whatever the hell they call that thing, was a really, really, really big deal to him. Trev wanted to have the most bland ass uniforms that you could possibly have on the face of the earth. Now, at the time, I was like, I thought about it and I applied it to Nebraska basketball, men's basketball. At the time when Trev did that, Nebraska basketball had like 40 different uniforms and none of them were red or white. And I'm like, you know what, Trev? Like, I kind of mess with this. This is a good idea. We need to start over. Like, let's start over and
get back to basics, our roots.
Now they don't have to wear the Black History Month jerseys for an entire month next year. Hopefully, I don't know what Adidas requires them to do. in that regard. But we're gonna see Fat Herbie that gets rolled out there a little bit more often. We're gonna, maybe you could convince Matt Rhule to get going on an alternate jersey or something like that. This stuff it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is the window into your athletic department. People wear the merchandise, people wear the gear, and it's cool. Like I want a quarter zip that has Fat Herbie on it spinning a basketball on his finger. That is sick.
Mm-hmm.
Sign me up for that with the script Nebraska basketball across right on the pocket square there. That is fantastic stuff. I want one of those.
And there is an element of, hey, if you ask for something, we will consider it. And if it's a good idea, if it's plausible, we'll do it. Like there is something to that.
Absolutely. Fans they want to be heard.
Yeah.
Want to be happy.
Now, if you complain about money, what? I can't hear you. I'm sorry. I can't hear you over here in Lincoln.
Coach, Dylan's fat. I didn't say that. I did not. Don't put it on the internet that I said that.
He's beautiful just the way he is.
Speaking of,
that's how God made him.
Why don't we, for the first time on this show, listen to the full quote from Matt Rhule from yesterday about Dylan Raiola.
All right.
So 2 weeks ago, Matt said Dylan's got to work on his body composition. He won't be a good quarterback at 240 pounds. He won't be a great quarterback at 240 pounds. That's what he said. And people took that as he is 240 pounds. And for Matt Rhule, it's hard to see why that happened. And I kind of took it as like, I was sort of combing through my thoughts yesterday in preparation for listening to this for the first time because I knew what he said, but I hadn't heard it yet. And if I were to best sum up my thoughts on what he said at the time 2 weeks ago, it was more of like, hey, he'll never be a good quarterback at 240 pounds, which means he's trending to 240 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like because he said it in lockstep with he's working on his body composition. He's working on his body composition. So it sounded like to me, like if we're not careful, it can get there. And this is, of course, off of a long run of Dylan showing up at various sporting events, whether it be high school or college basketball games, wearing jerseys that were far too tight for him and wearing them over the top of turtlenecks. Turtleneck, thick. Josh.
It is. It's an unbecoming article of clothing.
Don't wear a game-worn Keisei Tominaga jersey over the turtleneck if you are a large man. And this is what Rhule said yesterday. Mm-hmm. He's a big man.
Big man
He's
on campus.
not fat. He's just big-boned. Here is...
heavy. He's my quarterback.
Here is Matt Rhule yesterday.
Bad. I mean, I thought it was really poor on some people's parts. Like, if you went back and listened to what I said he knows he can't be 240. I didn't say he was 240. so people ran with that, and it's unfortunate, right? I mean, I'm very marked with how I say things. I say things a specific way, and all I said was he knows he can't be something, but he already was. I mean, he's done a really nice job with his body, and he's continuing to do that. He's a big man. He's gonna be a big man. You know why? When I was growing up early in football, you wanted a big quarterback because they stay healthy, they're durable. They don't get pulled down in the pocket. They don't get knocked down. He's got big hands. He'll be able to throw in all types of weather. He'll be able to throw. So I think his size is, he's never going to be X. But he's been really focused this offseason on, hey, I'm going to get myself to the right weight, get myself down to where I want to be. And I think, as you said, I think you can already see it. But, I always feel bad when there's enough ire out there. When I bring that to somebody with something I said, but I think I was pretty specific in that he just knows what he doesn't want to be. Doesn't mean he's that. And he's I don't know, was he 19? 19? He's 19 years old. He's a very, very focused young man. So he's working at it. I think he'll be really good. And the fact that we had to move the pro day schedule around so he could throw for our guys, because it's important that they have someone throwing to them that they know, and then he has to get to class. So kind of move some things around. Appreciate the scouts. But, yeah, he's had a good offseason, and he's looked really good in practice so far.
Josh, your thoughts?
He can't be X was a very odd line.
He didn't want to say a number again.
Yeah.
It
was very clear.
He got a little skittish.
Matt Rhule always, and he alluded to it in the quote, always very aware of the landmines of everything he says. And the one time maybe he got to talking. Now, it's still a quote. The whole quote
is, I'm very careful about what I say. And I said that.
The whole quote on the macro is that Dylan is working on his body composition and he'll get there.
Yeah.
So he came in bigger than you wanted him?
I don't think that he is 230 or 240 pounds. And what I think, this is so stupid.
It's incredibly stupid.
I hate this. And for the record, you know what? He looked he did look trim yesterday. He looked trim.
Shout out to the scouts.
Black Cat writes in, can't be good at 240, but at 260, he's ready to roll.
Literally. Because he'll look like that blueberry girl in Willy Wonka.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think this, but here's the problem. When you say stuff like this, it's just going to keep coming up. This is what we said 2 weeks ago when he said it, when he put a number next to it. Like, people are going to be checking in on this now. You're going to have to answer questions, and he's going to have to answer questions about what his, if he plays poorly, or if he
is Dylan bloated? Is he?
Yeah, if he
got a lot of water weight.
Yeah, it's like how's he coming along? I mean,
has he been working with the wrestlers to cut weight?
The next time that Rhule talks, somebody will probably still ask him, like, "Hey, just a little update. Last time we talked, you said Dylan was really working on his body. Like, how does that look now?" I think he's going to be fine. He's a big guy.
Big man.
He's a big man. He's got that offensive lineman gene in him.
It's in there. It's baked into the cake.
No doubt about it.
Speaking of cake.
What?
Dylan would probably love some cake.
Okay. Jeff writes in.
Hi, Jeff.
LOL, Rhule is the one who brought up a specific weight. It's not anyone else's fault.
Yeah. It is okay to say, you know what, I probably misspoke when I said that.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay. Like, we get it. You're up there talking for like an hour at a time. Trust me, during this 4-hour radio show, driving home, I'm usually like, could have said that better. Could have said that better. Because I suck.
What do we call this? Weight gate?
It does rhyme. I like that.
Weight-gate.
It has to rhyme or be alliteration.
Weight gate.
Girthy gate?
Weight gate.
Well, I like weight gate.
All right. So update on Waitgate to come. I'm sure you'll be seeing pictures of Dylan Raiola, video of Dylan Raiola, and we'll be guessing his weight at every turn.
If you see him at Ivana Cone, we will run with that for 3 days.
That's right. If you see him out in public at any store or the cookie store that Miranda Mike went to, and he asked the lady, "Hey, are these cookies healthy?" And she said, "Nope."
No.
If you see Dylan Raiola at that store, you tell us immediately. We need your help, eyes in the community.
Look, I was across the river and I saw him at Kookaburra.
Now that is a big cookie.
A big cookie for a big man. I'm Dylan Raiola.
That is a big cookie. He should do an NIL deal with them. But before we take a break and get to some more things that Matt Rhule had to say yesterday, we got a text here from Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Josh, you love radio beefs.
Ooh.
You love. I think you want to start one.
I'm going to say yes. I don't know what you're about to say, but yes, I will say yes.
I think you want. I think you want to be a part of one. I don't. I'm not interested, but I know you do. So let me offer this up to you. Jason writes in, Josh and C-Hap. I'm a huge Avalanche fan, and I listened to Denver Sports Talk Radio last Wednesday, a week ago today, to hear Avs coach Jared Bednar. Then they brought on Kevin Kugler, who had recently been broadcasting for the Denver Regional for Westwood One, some of it on a telephone.
Yeah, that's correct.
Afterward, they were discussing Kugler and how much they liked him. And Brett Kane, friend of mine who I worked with in Lincoln, mentioned that he had listened to Kevin when he was on 1620 in Omaha. back in the day. And then the other two hosts of the show then asked, quote, wait, wasn't that where the guy who looks like he ate his family works? They were referring to me.
Whoa! Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you went on with them.
I went on their show.
That's right.
First, I go on that show and it was on video or whatever.
The second you hang
up. The
up.
first thing Mosier, one of the hosts, says to me is like, you look mean, man. You look. I'm like, whoa, I'm a pretty nice guy. I don't know what I was talking. Maybe it was Nebraska, Colorado. Yeah, it was CU week, I think. So there you go. There's a potential radio beef that's out there for you. If you want to.
So he hasn't forgotten you.
No, he heard 1620 The Zone and thought of me.
I don't know. Is this something we want? I mean, if you don't want it, we're not going to do it.
I never want it.
Yeah.
I never want it. I'm a nice guy.
Now, maybe I can find the clip on Twitter and tweet something out.
Yeah, somebody could go grab it for us.
That would be very helpful if you did.
Somebody could go
I'm watching this Avengers thing. I don't have time for anything
What do you
else.
mean you're watching this Avengers thing?
Since 10 a.m., they've been slowly rolling out the cast of the next Avengers movie.
There's another event. I thought that was over.
2 more. Well, this is the new Avengers.
It ended. The end game. There was 2 of them.
It's never the end game. I mean, you pick up another game. This is a new game.
Who are the Avengers now? They all died.
Well, not all of them, just 2
Many
of them.
of them died.
2 of them. We got Thor, we got Cap, one of the people from the Fantastic Four, Bucky, Ant-Man.
Cap's dead?
New Cap. We got a new Cap, Connor.
We did?
Yeah.
That's right. He gave it over to the other guy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Ant-Man.
So
fake Cap from the TV show.
No Cap? What about
no Cap? I like that. No Cap.
Okay. First of all, okay. So I have many questions about that, but we do have a couple comments. First from Charles.
Hi, Charles.
Dylan Raiola, new nickname alert. Big Cookie.
Okay, I like that. Because he does. He
is a big cookie.
We stumbled upon this yesterday. He will eventually graduate from Dylon because also everybody hates that we call him Dylon.
You got Big Cookie sitting back there in the pocket. He's tough to take down. He's a one big cookie.
He doesn't crumble.
Sometimes they call him, they say the guys are one tough cookie. Dylan Raiola, that's one big cookie. Sitting back there, that's a big cookie. So that's interesting. Jason follows up. He was the person who texted in about the Denver radio beef. Thanks for the update. I am here for the beef. All right. So we'll see. We'll see what the next step is. I guess the ball's in our court.
Also, I don't think you look at all like you ate your family.
I don't know what a person. I don't know what a person would have to look like. I suppose they could only see me from like the shoulders up. I'm bald. I don't think I was. I try not to have an angry, resting face.
Way too well kept to be a guy who ate his family. Like you would have some mange in your hair, a little.
Yeah.
Like you'd look rabid almost.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Not even close.
Do I have the appearance of like a nice guy? Like do I seem approachable? It's hard to know now.
You are approachable. Me. I would
People
lean
have approached
towards
me.
no, like 55% no.
Really?
Yeah.
55% unapproachable.
Yeah. It's the bald.
Really?
It's the
bald adds. What does it add?
You don't smile.
Well, not
you
like
don't,
that's not my default setting.
Yeah, you don't have a scowl, but you don't smile.
Okay. This is good to know. I'll try and smile more.
I mean,
maybe I'll be like one of those people who the old men go up to on the street and they say, "Why don't you smile a little more?"
You're not supposed to talk about a woman's weight or tell her to smile. And I think today we're learning you probably shouldn't say that about men either.
Chris writes in, I'm
Hi,
Connor
Chris.
Happer and I eat people. No.
He would never.
Nope, that's just what a Denver radio show is saying about me.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently. Okay. John Pork writes in on YouTube.
Hi, John Pork. Sorry. Probably a family name.
I would approach you. No, it's not. So do you know about John Pork? John
Clearly not. Paul question.
Yeah, do it. John Pork is like I don't know why. It's like it's an internet thing though.
Okay.
And it's just this
So Nick would
guy
know
with
about
a
this?
pig face. And they call him John Pork. John Pork says, I would approach you, Connor.
All right.
That one's going to go up at No Context 1620
A very good Twitter account.
here in just a moment. Some more comments from you all on Waitgate and more from Matt Rhule when we return
Give us those opinions.
on a Wednesday edition of the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. The Savory 16 is underway in the Omaha Food Fight, presented by Union Bank and Trust. And voting ends after today.
Whoa.
Voting ends today. You need to advance your favorite restaurants into the edible 8. And then the voting on that will run through the weekend. Do we have a standings update? I haven't checked it in a little while. It's constantly moving. So the food fight. We got Johnny's and the Drover. We got Jay's Smokehouse and Tap House. We got Porky Butts and Rusty Nail. We got Ramona's and Brother Sebastian's. We got Dinkers and Sergeant Pepper's. We got Manja and Lisa's Radio. We got Block 16 and Casio's. We got Fernando's and Broncos. Holy smokes! Blue Blood Central in the Omaha food fight presented by Union Bank and Trust. And so if you feel strongly about those, we need your votes over at 1620thezone.com. That is, once again, the Omaha food fight presented by Union Bank and Trust. We have a text from, what am I going to say, Josh?
Michael Severe.
Greg in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, okay.
Greg in Myrtle Beach.
That does make more sense.
Middle school rule.
There it is. Play the hits, baby.
Never learns. His rambling diarrhea mouth constantly paints him into corners, which distracts morons from his in-game coaching disasters.
So is it purposeful or accidental?
His rambling diarrhea mouth constantly paints him into corners, and then it distracts morons from his in. So what Greg in Myrtle Beach here is saying that he is having the diarrhea mouth purposefully to distract people from the in-game coaching.
If I say Dylan's fat, no one will ever remember that I don't know when to call a timeout at the end of a half.
Interesting. But wouldn't that go to, wouldn't that make him not middle school rule? I mean, that's sort of an advanced chess move.
Seems like it. Now, I don't know how smart of a move it is, but
right.
It does seem like a chess, not checkers sort of thing.
Forgive me, but I'm still not like real fired up about the whole in-game coaching thing yet. Maybe history will laugh at this statement that I've just made.
Now, when you say you're not fired up about it,
I'm not real like concerned.
Okay.
I'm not really concerned about it. I just think it's super duper situational.
So you would hold up your overreaction sign.
Kind of.
Not the concern sign.
No, that's right. I like how we have those two conflicting signs.
What a great prop I made that one time.
That's good. Charles writes in.
Hi, Charles.
Does Greg watch football? In-game timeout usage by head coaches in football is generally poor at every level.
Now that I would agree with.
We're always complaining about how coaches are bad at this.
Remember, Andy Reid was an idiot until he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
People forget.
Yeah. All right. Should we get to some more from Mr. Diarrhea Mouth?
There's more?
Oh, yeah.
How long did it go yesterday?
24 minutes.
Okay.
I believe was the
succinct
official,
for Diarrhea Mouth.
Was the official.
I don't like calling him this.
No, I don't want to. That is not a nickname we're interested in doing. That is not coined by us.
No.
I know people listen. That we didn't say that. That's, you need to text Greg in Myrtle Beach.
If maybe you have a legal pad with everything we say on it and you summarize it to head coach Matt Rhule, we're not saying that.
That's the other thing about the big cookie situation. I mean, you had to be pretty in tune with what people were talking about if that bothered you.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You want to hear about some Husker Day, Josh?
The games?
The Husker Day, Husker Games, whatever you want to call them, presented by somebody.
Could be you.
Matt Rhule has got some ideas, including something involving Steve Sipple.
Whoa, okay.
All right.
Got to hear this.
That's enough for you.
That's a click.
Us.
Getting a click from me.
Here is Mr. Rhule.
I'd love to see some Husker greats, out there performing. I honestly suggested that they should get Sipple and some of you guys out there and in front of the crowd. I'm dead serious. I want to shoot a punt and see if Sipple can catch it. And then I'm going to go online and talk about what he did right afterwards, what he did wrong. So it'd be awesome. No, but I said we should have a media team.
Okay, let me pause this for a second.
Sorry.
I'm going to pause for a second. What do we think?
No, I genuinely love that idea.
I think it'd be really funny if, like, the coaches went online and, like, maybe they started a blog, just for this, or they took out a URL just for this and just started writing their random. Maybe they did a couple podcasts or something like that. And
probably just be a tweet or two.
I know, but I think you really go all the way in.
If you really,
I think you really go all the way in
to the bit, it would be incredible.
By the way, okay. So speaking of this, did you happen to see Dale Earnhardt Jr. on? All right.
What year is it?
So this is related. I promise.
Okay.
So Dale Earnhardt Jr. went on. I think it was Pardon My Take, and they were talking about the college football video game for whatever godforsaken reason, and Dale Earnhardt Jr., the race car driver, ripped out his iPad and he showed Big Cat and PFT he has a playbook. He has like a scholarship distribution. Like there were all these different tabs on this Google sheet.
He's into it.
And there was like, he gave individual plays, grades based on how well they worked. And like, yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I mean, I was jealous. It was awesome, but it was wild. I hope that Matt Rhule does that when Steve Sipple goes back and tries to field a punt.
I would like that. I would like it very much.
It'd be a lot of fun. And I don't know that I would be involved in this really at all. This would be fantastic. I would just get to talk about, Sipple. Sipple's always the guy that we bring up, but I'm sorry, Phil. Yes, thank you, Phil. He did it on Will Compton's podcast. Sorry.
The bus.
They occupy the same space in my brain, even though I know Will left Barstool.
He did.
But yeah, he was on the bus. He was on the bus boys. And so yeah.
You can get an iPad to work on that bus?
I'd be sitting there watching, Mike Schaefer. Mike Schaefer would probably decline.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that he would do it. I don't know that Sipple would probably do it either.
Who would? Matt McMaster. Yeah. End of list.
Like I would absolutely say yes if they asked. I mean, put that on the internet. I would absolutely say yes. But I'm not really around the team much anymore. Matt McMaster is. Matt McMaster, 1620 The Zone. He got a good question from Matt Rhule yesterday.
Whoa.
Yeah. He got a.
Why are we not playing the hell out of that clip?
I apologize. I didn't cut that one.
Good question.
Or maybe even great question.
Whoa.
Anyway, very on board for this. And I think Matt Rhule's idea of shaming the media is truly awesome. I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
Shaming is fantastic. And I don't think it's going to do what Matt Rhule thinks it's going to do, which is like, it gives you a new perspective and it really makes you think differently about the things that you're putting online. Like everyone knows it's hard.
Nope.
It doesn't actually functionally do that.
It's not my job to field punts. That's why it's funny.
It would be really fun for everybody to gather around and laugh at the media for a little while. It's good comedic relief.
It is.
It's the same reason why slow pitch celebrity softball games exist.
Why do you
watch to raise money?
Why do you watch Jenny Finch throw balls at Alex Rodriguez?
Right, because it's awesome and it's funny. All right, but Rhule continues on what the Husker Day might look like. Here he is.
I believe that we should have a meeting. You guys should get out there, and I'd love to see a couple of you guys do some stuff. And but I want to have like some skills competitions. We're gonna do some 7-on-7 like they do in the Pro Bowl. But I think it was really fun to get some of the old, some of the greats or some of the, former players that want to be involved. And then, I know we're trying to incorporate, as you guys know, I'm very passionate about women's 7-on-7 flag football. It's an emerging sport. It's going to be an Olympic sport. It's going to be an NCAA sport. I think it should be a high school sport in every state. I got 2 daughters that want it to be. So we put a camp on last year, and I think we're gonna host a women's 7-on-7 from some athletes, intramural athletes here versus I think Midland. Hopefully it's okay that I said that. Hopefully that's going through. If it's not, I apologize. But I think
I would pause again. He just said that he was really specific about what he says. Sometimes it feels like he's not.
He will always say something, and then for like 12 minutes after, like, okay, that might not be entirely true. I'm sorry if it's not true. Like, we've talked about it. I don't know what I can say, what I can't say, but I said that one thing, so we're here.
Yeah. Okay. Let him continue. I'll let you finish.
We're going to do that early, then we'll have our portion, and then obviously the soccer game's happening that day. Women's soccer is going to be playing over at Hibner, and then Coach Busboom Kelly's going to have her first match, right? Versus Kansas, which is they made it this year, right? So which is a really good team. So I think it has a chance to be a fun day. I know they're going to do some other things around it, I know everybody. I trust me. I walked in last night with a social for the Scouts, and the waitress, bartender, young lady, she said, "Coach Rhule, I have an issue with you." I said, "All right, what is that?" She said, "No spring game." I need, I'm like, I know, I get it. So many things that we love are going to change moving forward, but I think this has a chance to be pretty cool. And I'd love to see, Jay Foreman out there. He's at practice every day. I want to see him do some drills, and I want to see our guys compete with some drills. And the last thing I think hit me when we watched the Pro Bowl, we see all of our players. The fans always see them with their helmets on. Football's such an impersonal game that way, and to take the helmets off and see their faces and see all that stuff, hopefully it'll be pretty cool. So we're going to try to make it really good, and I think a bunch of teams across the country are going to do it. We'll try to do ours better than not better than anybody else, the best that we can. And then if anything changes, if they change the rules or whatever, we're willing to adapt at any moment. But right now, I think this has a chance to be a pretty cool day.
We'll try and do it better than anybody else. Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't say better than everybody else. Yeah, God forbid Wake Forest had a better spring practice.
I feel bad. I feel bad because now
everybody tweeting at Matt Rhule.
Well, he's walking on eggshells now a little bit. He should have
He's a year away from saying nothing at all.
I know, but I thought his whole bit was, a couple weeks ago when he talked to, he was like, I'm at the point in my life where I just, I'm just going to say whatever the hell I want, and I don't even care anymore. Mm-hmm. So I guess it just depends on the mood, that he's in on whatever given day.
It's vibes based.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, odd, sort of an odd press conference, I guess, yesterday.
Everybody finishing their spring game and tweeting at Matt Rhule.
Our spring game was
better than Rhule.
John Pork is back.
Welcome back, John Pork.
Matt Rhule shaming the media and fat shaming his quarterback. What'd we say?
Seems to be two things he's really into.
It'll be working, man. Say it out loud. You see these college basketball programs shaming their athletic directors into giving them more money and hiring good coaches.
It always works.
It always works. You say it out loud. You say it in public. Jeff writes in about the Husker Day.
Hi, Jeff.
Appreciate their effort, but I'm still not going.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think
I'm sorry. Yeah,
people,
we're not going.
Yeah, we're not unless I'm invited as a punt returner in the media game.
It is the best possible situation if you're not going to play a game.
Yeah. Then they've already said that.
Mm-hmm.
He had to apologize to a young lady waitress bartender.
That's right. Again,
just what
I'm careful.
Yeah, but not that careful.
I'm not careful on the front end.
I'll go back and correct it later. Don't forget to get your opinions in for I Have an Opinion coming up in just a little while. But first, Josh brings you the odd news right here on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
Who's pitching tonight?
You Darvish, having a great year.
The Connor Happer Show.
I know about that guy.
On 1620 The Zone.
What a mess.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
All right, Josh, time for the odd news. Don't forget to get your opinions in for I Have an Opinion. Supernovas tickets are on the line.
Where you at, Novas Nation?
Novas Nation, stand up. They're at the Chai on Friday night, and we got tickets. All you have to do is state an opinion.
You're not going to let Vegas come in here and run things, are you?
I don't think so.
No.
This is our house.
That's right.
What do we got?
We begin with, no, that's the last story. We want a Florida woman. We begin in Florida, very rare.
Interesting.
Florida woman facing felony charges after she robbed a Dairy Queen at gunpoint and got $1.50.
Dude, this reminds me, I did not get ice cream last night.
I did, Connor.
Did you go to Dairy Queen or did you go somewhere special?
I did go to Dairy Queen.
Damn it. What was I thinking?
And you got out of the game early, too.
What was I thinking?
You forgot. You were like, I'm going to go see my wife.
You know what happened? This is Josh Peterson's fault.
Always is.
This is Josh Peterson's fault. He called me.
Oh.
He called me.
Called you?
Yes. We did talk about something.
He
called me.
Wow.
And
thanks for cluing me in.
It's I think you're okay.
Okay.
It doesn't really pertain to you. And yeah, he called me. And then I forgot about ice cream.
I mean, a real friend would bring you ice cream today if he's listening. I think he probably skips this segment.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Lunch with Happer.
Yeah. I mean, I need to eat the ice cream like right away too. Especially ice cream. I need to eat that right away.
Okay.
My wife told me to go to Dairy Queen and get some ice cream just a couple weeks ago. And I couldn't believe that I was sitting there just looking at I ate my ice cream on the way back. And then I delivered her ice cream. And
Connor, that's what happened to me last night. I ate it in the car on the way home.
She just accepted it. And I'm like, man,
why'd I eat it in the car?
This is not the best, possible product that I could be having. Anyway, what's going on? $1?
$1.50 is all this lady got. Took place at a Coconut Creek.
Coconut Creek?
Coconut Creek Dairy Queen.
Not Carvel? Oh, they went to Dairy Queen.
Yeah. Where 44
Fudgy the Whale?
And Fudgy's okay.
Right.
Allison Fetting reportedly pulled out a black handgun and demanded money from the cashier. However, instead of taking cash from the register, she grabbed the tip jar containing $1.50 and fled the scene. No one was hurt during the robbery. Fetting was taken into custody on the next day on a petty theft charge.
Was it worth it? I'm going to say no.
No, couldn't possibly be.
I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
Would it have ever been worth it? Also going to say no.
Michigan man won $500 in the daily 3 lottery drawing. He played the number 666 in that daily 3 lottery.
What, purposefully?
I believe so. He won $500 on that ticket. And what did he do, Connor?
What did he do, Josh?
He invested it. He used $100 of that $500 to buy a fast cash ticket and won a $2.3 million jackpot.
Whoa!
I played 666 on a couple of daily 3 tickets and won big, the player said. I decided to take 100 of that and buy some fast cash tickets.
Whoa!
Because the jackpot was so huge. As soon as the clerk handed me the tickets, I ran my eyes over them to see if I had won anything. I was shocked to see that I hit the jackpot for $2.39 million. We started celebrating in the store, and then I got to make the best phone call I've ever made to my family and friends and tell them the news.
I've never thought about that. That would be a hell of a phone call to make.
It would.
That would be an awesome phone call.
I would do it now I'm so vain that I would do it in person because I want to see their face. I guess phone calls you can do on the face.
Would you record it?
No, I'm not a big
I'm not either. But if you were really committed to it, you would call your wife via the radio station and be like, "Hey, honey, I'm not kidding. We just won $2.3 million.
Okay, we're gonna buy this place."
Yeah. No, but yeah, she'd be happy.
Now, this all begs the question, did this person make a deal with the devil by picking 666?
Yeah, Venmo
as
Chris
the
writes in,
original
hell
numbers?
yeah, go Satan. Okie dokie.
I wonder if he pulled up to the convenience store and instead of saying, not today, Satan, today, Satan.
Today's that day.
Today's the day, Satan.
Wow. It pays to be a devil worshiper, I guess.
I don't know that that's the message you want getting out there. Matt Rhule's going to hear it. We end the odd news today in Australia. Now, this story a little risque if you be careful.
Josh, horny Josh.
A shameless man caught having sex at a swimming spot in Australia's Gold Coast reportedly emerged from the water and ordered onlookers to turn over their cell phones containing footage of the tryst. The incident occurred at the Gold Coast with the perp and his partner getting it on around 1:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
We were in disbelief. They were engaging in these acts fully knowing there were onlookers. Shockingly, the lagoon lovemaker got out of the water and approached several different groups of people asking for money. Quote, he demanded we instantly hand him our phones or give him payment for having watched his performance.
Oh.
He continued to state.
Interesting way to put it. I would think that the people with the phones would be requesting the money to pay off to pay them off.
He continued to state he does not perform for free and people need to pay him for what they just witnessed. They told the man that the recording would be turned over to police.
Yeah.
And then the article goes on to say that public sex is illegal on Australia's Gold Coast.
I would say it's illegal in most places.
Sure. What a spin. What a spin zone on that. Hey.
You just get to see the show.
I just put on a show. Shows ain't free, baby.
Yeah, he didn't make it. I mean, I guess the street performers in or the people who are dressed up as Elmo in Times Square, they don't make it clear to you before you take a picture with them that you have to pay them money. But if you don't pay them money afterwards, they will kill you.
I have heard this about Elmo.
Yeah. Elmo will murder you. So, I mean, I guess this is a thing elsewhere. So maybe he could use that as precedent. But it doesn't hold up, right? They don't owe him any money.
Don't pay that man.
No, I don't think so. At the same time, are you going to knock? Are you a knock, Josh? Are you going to send the video to the police? Because I'm certainly not.
No.
Also, I'm not going to take a video. I'm not getting my phone out.
Also,
I don't think so.
They're in the water. What are you?
Yeah, what are you seeing?
What are you seeing? Yeah.
How are they? Where's the water go to? Knees, waist, chest?
I saw a photo of the video.
That's
and
good.
yeah, it's stomach level.
Okay. And are they nude?
She appeared to have a top on.
Okay. So I don't even. All right, I don't have any further comments on this. Yeah. But what a story, Josh. Thanks. It's a great story.
Thank you.
Joel writes in.
Hi, Joel.
Afternoon delight from Down Under.
Down Under.
Jason has an opinion on that story. I have an opinion.
Hi, Jason.
Dude should have grabbed the tip jar.
Get $1.50.
Yeah. All right. That is the odd news. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
Coming back for the noon hour. It's time for I Have an Opinion. You have opinions. Now, if you share them with us, you have a chance to win Omaha Supernovas tickets. Also, don't forget, bottom of the noon hour, we'll talk to Jake Eisenberg from the Kansas City Royals Baseball Network. You'll be able to hear young Jake's voice many, many times here on 1620 The Zone this summer. And I have to talk about the Royals for 15 minutes. So thank you for the segment. It's appreciated. But first, opinions next on 1620 The Zone.
This is the I Have an Opinion song. Haven't done an intro yet. Need to get on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mavericks are in the portal.
Mavericks in the portal.
Mavs in the portal. Markel Sutton and JJ White.
Oh.
Dynamite. They're both into the portal. Where's Gary? Gary on here on the
Is Gary in the portal?
Gary Gary.
Yeah, those red ones.
The red ones. Oh, there we go.
JJ lost the ball. 3 on the way. Good! JJ White.
Hey, what was that? Okay, all right. Thank you. It's scary. They're gonna probably they're gonna help some lucky high major program next year. Couple lucky guys spending the next couple months on a bus touring with they don't even know it yet.
The town is that way.
The town is back that way. All right, Josh, I have an opinion. Let's do it. I wish I would have got that line completely right. I'm going to look it
up. We begin in the Twitter sphere with an opinion from Mark.
Yeah.
I have an opinion. Bigfoot would be the #1 seed of all the mythical creatures. Side note, there's a museum in Hastings that would indicate Bigfoot is real, so he may not be eligible.
So wait. So this is a fight, a physical altercation?
I believe Mark is picturing some sort of bracket of the mythical creatures.
Like a Pokemon stadium type of situation?
Like Bigfoot versus Loch Ness.
Okay.
Versus Chupacabra.
I just don't really dip my toe into the waters of mythical creatures. I never have. I've never cared about them. Have you ever cared about mythical creatures?
Right. It's going up at Happer show.
I haven't really cared. They talk about the Loch Ness Monster. I'm not interested. They talk about the whatever, what was the thing that this guy said?
Bigfoot.
I don't care.
I have a son who loves dinosaurs. My life is almost exclusively mythical creatures.
I don't waste my time with this stuff. I don't care about the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs aren't mythical, though they actually existed, and I don't care about them either.
You should. A lot of great information out there.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is. Durham, Dino Ranger
No,
Anthony,
I like
Jump Roar.
I like the museums. In the
Memorial
area.
Hall in Lincoln.
I like the museums in the area that go through the history of these things, among other things, by the way. They're not just dinosaur museums. Okay? They're not just dinosaur museums. There's other things. At Durham, they have the big train.
They do.
I love the train.
So does my son.
I am interested in trains. I am not interested in mythical creatures.
All right.
Don't care about them. Don't want to make a bracket. Not interested. Pass.
I mean, I think you'd be right.
It's a myth.
Top mythical creatures. What do you think comes up here?
Yeah. This is all
unicorn. Where's the unicorn rank?
I don't care.
Werewolf.
I don't care.
Minotaur.
A minotaur. I don't care. Oh, the minotaur is actually kind of interesting. Half man, half horse. Isn't that what a minotaur is? Half man, half horse.
You're right.
That's fascinating.
Oh, wait. No, is that a centaur? What's a minotaur?
Oh, yeah. What is that? I don't know. See, this is why I don't care.
Okay.
I don't know anything about it. What would you pick, Josh?
I mean,
the unicorn could just stab you.
Do I get
that's a big
two
horn.
#1 seeds or 4 #1 seeds? I guess would be the question.
Oh, are you making a bracket of 32 or 64?
Yeah. I mean, I want Bigfoot. I feel like that's a strong one. Loch Ness, unicorn.
But
mermaid.
They're mythical creatures, so we don't know what kind of mythical powers they have.
Well, I mean,
are we led to believe that the unicorn can shoot laser beams out of its horn?
No.
I mean, I don't know.
But it has a horn.
How do we know the unicorn's limitations if it is a mythical creature? by design, we don't know what it could do.
They all come from some sort of folklore. Like, it's not like, well, hey, it's not like you're a kid in the schoolyard going, well, my octopus has a force field around it.
But if
so you can't break a force field.
But if some little kid came up to you today and they were like, check out this unicorn, it could shoot laser beams out of its horn, would you be shocked that kid said that?
No, I would not.
Absolutely
not.
Not. Absolutely not. They're like, whoa, that's a especially cool unicorn.
Yeah, unique.
But, it's
what
not
an
that
imagination on you. Maybe lay off the sugar, kid.
It's not that crazy for a unicorn. Black Cat writes in.
Hi, Black Cat.
I've heard libraries have some of this information available.
How would you know?
I don't believe in those either.
Another opinion, a little more down to earth. This one coming from, where'd it go? Old Man Doug.
Okay, all right.
I have an opinion.
Uh-huh.
Jack Nicklaus is the greatest golfer of all time. Now, Doug has shown his work on this.
What is this from?
He has taken a photo
is this a screenshot of a Facebook?
It is. I believe Old Man Doug took a photo of his desktop computer at work.
No, this is made by somebody else.
Okay.
Somebody did this on it looks like an Instagram.
Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
Doug, you on Reels?
Ooh.
Interesting.
Tiger versus Jack.
This is the perfect take for Old Man Doug. This is the perfect take for Old Man Doug. Jack was way better than Tiger.
Yeah, Tiger had more tour victories.
Yeah, go ahead. Go through the numbers.
Majors won. Obviously, that goes to Jack. Major runner-up.
Don't worry, though. Tiger's definitely going to win one more.
Well, he needs 4 more.
That'll for sure happen.
19-7 in favor of Jack. Top fives, 56-33 in favor of Jack. Missed cuts. Jack only has 6 of those. Tiger has twice.
Yeah, but
many.
all of those are post legs.
Top 3 finishes. Jack leads 46-26. Tour victories. Again, Tiger's got him there, 82-72. I don't care that there's more tour events now. Tour runner-up, 57-31 in favor of Jackie boy.
Tiger's better. Tiger Woods, baby. It's freaking Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods versus old dude. I don't think so. Give me Tiger Woods. They had to change golf courses for Tiger. They probably did that for Jack too. I know Jack was playing with a wooden stick.
He was.
But it's a very old man take. And we never will know the answer. We will never know the answer.
It's like Ali versus Tyson.
Yeah. We'll just never have the answer to this question. Give me Tiger. Give me Tiger all day long. Both of them at their prime. Give me Tiger.
What do you got on the text? We want to make sure we get our texters in.
Oh, we got several here on the text line that I could get to. Let's start with this one came in early in the show, and I made sure to bookmark it.
Look at you.
From the 402.
Hi, 402.
I have an opinion. MLB blackout rules suck. Every year, I go on a rant to anyone that will listen that the blackout rules have to go. I have subscriptions to MLB TV, ESPN Plus, Big Ten Plus, and now frickin' Peacock. I don't want to additionally subscribe to Diamond/Fox/Regional/Bally/FanDuel or whatever they're calling themselves now. I already have the MLB TV subscription. I live 3 hours from Kansas City. It's not a hop, skip, and a jump to go see a local game. I want to watch the Royals games with my MLB subscription. I want to see Bobby Witt Jr., the most exciting player to play for the Royals in quite some time and potential favorite to win AL MVP. In fact, the favorite to win AL MVP. I don't want to have to pay additional money to do that. And YouTube TV doesn't have MLB Network either, which is a rant for another day. It is so expensive to attend games in person anymore with ticket prices, concessions, and parking fees. Blackouts aren't encouraging people to attend games in their designated area. Overall, MLB prices are keeping the fans away. Blackouts are not growing the game, and the popularity of baseball is declining. Did losing the ESPN contract not tell you something? Texter, thank you. I agree with everything you just said.
Preaching to the choir.
Yeah, it's the stupidest thing.
I think baseball knows this and is very slowly trying to fix this.
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like that difficult of a thing to get rid of.
I would agree with that. Just
press the button and remove the blackout. That would be incredible. And the whole YouTube TV MLB Network thing is a huge pain in the butt.
Yeah.
I love that channel. It's my favorite channel. That is a channel, to be honest with you. We watch it every day in this room because it's the only 4 hours of the day in which I have access to it.
It's on right now.
It's ridiculous.
Baseball Eve.
John, I have an opinion.
Hi, John.
I don't care if spring practice has started. I don't want to hear anything from Rhule's fat mouth. I think John might have said this thing last week. Do it on the field, coward. Well, John, he doesn't have that option at this moment. It is March 26th. So hang in there. Hang tight. He's going to talk a lot more times before August, whatever.
Sure.
From the 308.
Hi, 308.
I have an opinion. Lawrence, Kansas should henceforth and forever be known as Larry, Kansas. Quit trying to church the place up. That is definitely a Larry and not a Lawrence.
Great take. Never thought of this before.
Yeah, we're going down to Larry for the week.
Hey, I'll see you in Larry. It's fine.
Meet in Larry.
You are looking live at Larry, Kansas.
It's just a nickname. I had a person in my family who was named, I think his name was Lawrence, and his name was, we called him Larry.
Sure. You ever call him Lair Bear?
Uncle Larry. We call him Lair from time to time. Yeah, hey, Larry. Yeah. I do love a Larry. Larry is a great name. He might be listening right now. There's a guy who works out with the Storm Chasers. Looking forward to seeing more of this year. Larry.
Hi, Larry.
Says he listens to the show quite often. Let's see if that's true.
Shout out the Chasers for going to my kid's school yesterday.
Yeah, you get to see a mythical creature.
Stormy.
That's
a 1 seed, let me tell you.
From the 402.
He can do the splits.
I have an opinion. NET dropped the ball by not broadcasting Omaha versus Nebraska softball tonight. Are they really not? Who is? Somebody must be, right? Out at Connie Clausen Field, where many foul balls went last night.
Many.
In Creighton versus Omaha.
Listen, live stats, watch. Midco Sports Plus.
Damn.
Summit League Network, baby.
Damn. That is.
They were like, we're hanging on to this one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the number 1 pick in the Midco Sports Draft.
Yeah.
Dang, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Venmo Chris.
Oh, 2 Nebraska softball games on Big Ten Network this weekend.
I have an opinion. Fingers are important. After mangling a finger at work last week, I now realize how important those little digits are.
Those little digis? Yeah.
Dude, how many times have we said that on this show? Seriously, I mean, and it never becomes more apparent. Like, hopefully you don't mangle a finger or have one get chopped off in some type of way to have to find out this lesson.
That's right.
But you'll figure it out. Like the second you get you cut your finger or something like that, and then you got to put a Band-Aid over it and you kind of just leave it off to the side and let it heal. Each and every one of them, they serve a purpose. We had a show recently in which we ranked fingers, right?
Yes.
So I'd asked Venmo Chris, like, which one did you, how many did you get? And what are we dealing with? Which finger?
It is somewhat important. Most of them serve a purpose.
They do serve a purpose, but usage rate on
right.
Exactly. On these right here. Look at these right here. That's the index.
If you had talons,
the index, the middle, and the thumb on both hands are top 6. These two or these two on each hand, But
I could make it work. I would not like to, but I could make it work.
Although slow and dangerous behind the wheel, will still serve a purpose. All right, we have some thoughts on Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods, y'all.
Tiger Woods has also had relations with more famous dudes' ex-wives than Jack.
Yeah, has Old Man Doug ran the numbers on that?
Check it out.
I mean, I'll bet Jack's got a personal life section on his wiki.
John texts in.
Hi, John.
I have another opinion. The 402's opinion about the broadcast blackouts was too long. There you go. Opinion on opinion crime.
I don't know that it was too long. I think we knew where it was going.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I agreed with every word.
Here's Chris.
Hi, Chris.
I have an opinion. When Josh Hodgson becomes mayor,
Thank you.
the potholes will be gone, and so will the streetcar vote for Josh. Is this what you're doing, Josh? You will kill the streetcar?
We've reached the point of no return on that. I know people don't want to hear that.
You feel like you have to run on that platform because
I would make it more useful.
Okay.
I would not just have it be kickbacks to my real estate dealer friends. I would have it go places where people already are.
Yeah.
Instead of creating new places for people to not go.
Hey, I always say in this conversation, there wasn't nothing in the no-do, which
right.
people definitely still call it that. And all of a sudden, we got businesses down there, Josh. You can get ice cream down there in multiple locations.
You can.
Multiple ice cream places.
The ice cream district.
But only for
that's what we can call it.
Only for like a month of the year.
Yeah.
the other 12
You'd
months,
be shocked how often one of those places was closed.
I mean, it's every day.
It's every day.
Aside from like the summer.
It's
all right.
At least 250 days a year.
Venmo Chris follows up with which finger.
This is important.
I cut my middle finger left hand almost to the bone.
Yeah.
Bunch of stitches. My job involves almost all hands-on work. Very cool for sure. Yeah, my dad almost sliced off his finger once at work. I think everything. I mean, he still's got them all, so it worked out, but it was pretty rough.
Update on Jack Nicklaus. He does not have a personal life section of his Wikipedia.
Wow.
Which means he is a saint.
Wow. Yeah, no kidding. Nothing?
Nothing.
Not a thing?
Nope.
Aaron writes in.
Hi, Aaron.
I have an opinion. People suck at general directions today. The amount of people that don't know the simple direction they are looking at is staggering. People, this is like knowing your left and your right hands. Aaron. I love that take.
It's a good take.
I love that take. Seriously. Because people, I mean, they just tell their phones just tell them where to go. Like there are some people, I guess I haven't had this happen to me in a long time, but like there are definitely some people who exist in this world who use their phone to like navigate them around in town to like places that they've been before. And in order for that to happen, you must not know where you are. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, just
you have to know where you are.
Zero sense of direction.
Right. And that is just the total opposite of me. I cannot even fathom that. Sometimes I like to be around people who are like that because I like to just show them stuff. And I'm like, okay, so this is north. You want to know how I know this is north? It's because the sun's over there.
Sun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's super easy. And you know, you just have to kind of remember that. It's just one of those things. But you'll figure it out after a while if you test yourself enough. And
you need reps as part of it.
Yeah, you do. You do need some reps. That's for sure. But yeah, there are people like that, and I do not get it. I do not understand. Chris writes in.
Hi, Chris.
My daughter tells me as long as my phone knows where I'm going, I'm good. I failed as a father. Chris, I don't want to say you failed as a father, but that would hurt me to hear. If my daughter said that to me, that would hurt me to hear. Oh, look, from Jake from the Section 220 boys.
What up, 220 boys?
The Section 220 boys have an opinion. Upper Bowl Night next year gets Happer Haughty shirts.
Well, I know what I'm doing this afternoon. I'm ordering me a gross of Happer Haughty shirts.
But it says Happer Haughty,
Haughty?
like Hawty.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think that's a good idea, Josh.
I would gladly take my media pass into the arena with a box of T-shirts and hand them out to the 220 boys.
No, that would be illegal. They wouldn't like that.
What are your sizes, everybody?
They wouldn't like that.
Who wouldn't like that?
Nobody would like that. I don't think you could just go in there and start passing out shirts and start giving it. No.
It's an arena. There's always just a pile of shirts.
Yeah, but those are given out by Creighton.
Larges and mediums only.
Yeah. There's some XLs, probably.
Yeah, you gotta get there quick though.
Yeah, you do. You do. The XL. I mean, everybody wears an XL, right?
I used to. I like a long shirt.
Is the most common shirt size XL?
That would be my guess. Yes.
I don't know very many people who wear larges.
No. I think my brother's a large.
Yeah. Okay. Nope. Happer hottie shirts? I don't think so. I have an opinion for Bill Brasky.
Bill Brasky.
I have an opinion. There are a few dilapidated buildings as you leave Haymarket Park where it's called Line Drive, meets Highway 6. They need to be removed immediately to prevent the further slide of Husker baseball.
Okay. Now we're getting to the root of the problem.
No, I don't think so. I fail to see how this would do anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. It's an awfully big parking lot. That's an awfully big parking lot. Josh, you don't get that. It's an M&M joke.
An M&M?
Yeah, he said that's an awfully hot coffee pot.
Oh.
Something like that in a video one time. Anyway, so that parking lot is a disaster to get out of. Have you ever tried to leave a Husker baseball game when the game ends?
No, I don't think so.
It is bad.
Oh.
Real bad. Like oftentimes when I'm there, I'm broadcasting something or I fill in as the PA guy or whatever it is. And I'm not out of there until 20 minutes after the game ends. And I wait as long as I possibly can just because it's a disaster. Now, to be fair, there are many places where it's a disaster to get out of the parking lot. But I always feel like that one.
Not a lot of people staying to the end of Husker games nowadays.
That's okay. That's okay. All right. Is that all the opinions?
I believe so.
You think you got a winner in there?
Definitely.
Is it the Lawrence Larry guy?
It might be.
Okay. Here's from John Rothstein before we...
Oh, yeah. I had a breaking news bit before as well.
Is it this?
I don't... probably not.
Here's John Rothstein before we take a break and talk to Young Jake. Omaha's Chris Crutchfield is finalizing a contract extension.
Hello.
Through the 2029-2030 season. I apologize for making your hearts drop a little bit, Omaha fans. Finalizing a contract what? Extension. The total package will put Crutchfield near the top of the Summit League in terms of salary and incentives. I saw Adrian. It was sitting right next to Adrian Dowell last night. I should have.
AD.
I didn't know about this. I should have asked.
Should have really pressed him on it. Breaking news out of college football, Connor.
Yes. Who's fired?
Gary Danielson.
He's not fired, right?
Calling it a career. Following this upcoming football season, Charles Davis will succeed him in 2026.
Wow.
As CBS Sports' lead college football analyst, which opens up a spot on the NFL side if, everybody moves up a level.
Wow. That's it.
36 years in television for Gary.
1 year in the Big Ten and called it quits.
He said, I can't do this anymore.
Too many Ohio State games.
So damn slow.
Or no, they didn't do
no.
Who did they do mostly this year?
Purdue.
Yeah, they had bad games.
They did.
They had bad games.
A lot of those networks got bad games this year. It's weird how that works.
Here's something from Chris.
Hi, Chris.
M. There's 100 Chris's who listen to this show, or at least that's what we want to say. I have an opinion. It's my wife's birthday this weekend, and she loves the Supernovas. So it'd be great if you gave me the tickets so I can make her happy. Smiley face. Hashtag Dylon's not chubby. Hashtag or is he?
Well, my wife's birthday is today.
Well, you can't give her the Supernovas tickets.
I cannot. She is ineligible.
Yeah. All right. So just put it into the pot and mix it around and see what you get out of
See
there.
how it feels.
All right. We'll be back. Jake Eisenberg will join us on the other side. I have many questions.
Say, Jake.
I have concerns.
Oh.
Right? How will my concerns bear out over a season for the Kansas City Royals? Will Seth Lugo have a career year again? Will Cole Reagans have a career year?
Hard to have career year
Again.
after career year after career year, you know.
Unless you're Bobby Wood Jr.
That's right.
Because I think that's just going to keep getting better. Will Vinny Pasquantino be healthy? Is the rest of the division bad or is it good?
4-team race?
What do we think about Angel Serpa in the back end of the bullpen? How about Carlos Estevez?
You hear it on the streets wherever you go. This is what people are talking about.
What about this addition of Jonathan India? Pretty good. Is there going to be? How about the new remade swing for MJ Melendez? I have questions, Josh. Those are just off the top of my head.
Cags.
When's Cags time? When's the Cags arrival date? We'll talk to Jake next here on 1620 The Zone. welcome back. More of the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Hodgson with you. Tomorrow is Major League Baseball opening day. And that means I'll probably be an adult man wearing a baseball jersey to work because that's just what we do. Jake Eisenberg, one of the voices of the Kansas City Royals, joins us now on the hotline. Jake, great to talk to you. How you doing?
Gentlemen, it is great to talk to you. I could not be better right now. I am literally on my way to Kauffman Stadium for the Royals Open workout today, and that starts at 3 o'clock. So when that starts, we will be like quite literally 24 hours away from the first pitch of this 2025 season. And after 5-6 weeks in Arizona, I think I can speak for pretty much everybody in saying that, like, we're ready to go. Like, this is going to be a heck of a year.
And tomorrow, the weather looks fantastic, like one of the better opening day weather days that I can remember for a while.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx anything, but yeah, it looks good. We'll leave it at that.
Okay, we'll just keep it right there. I was very happy, by the way, to get your stamp of approval on the Cat's Deli stop when I was in New York a couple weeks ago. That seriously meant a lot to me.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, okay. So you approve of this?
Oh, very, very, very much so. That Cat's Deli pastrami is top notch.
Yeah, I didn't really know what I was doing when I walked in there, but I sort of got the lay of the land and I figured it out. It's a little intimidating, but we worked through it and got a delicious pastrami sandwich and an awesome matzo ball soup. It was fantastic.
Yeah, controlled chaos, but they take care of you. And, welcome to the club of people that have been exposed to the joys that is Cat's Deli.
What is the what's the vibe? I mean, it's a young team who is obviously hungry coming off of a playoff appearance from last year, and finally this group has sort of been together. The core of it has been together for a while now. Obviously, Salvador Perez has been there for a long time and just continues to produce. How does it feel to you being around them? As you said, they're ready to go. What do you think that means for how they attack things in the first couple weeks of the season here?
Yeah, I'm going to paraphrase something that Danny Rogers of MLB.com said when she was asked kind of a similar question a couple of weeks ago. I mean, the vibe in the clubhouse is this sense of professionalism, and not to say that wasn't the case last year or in prior years, but the big difference this year is that the guys that are in the clubhouse are the guys that were in the clubhouse last season too, and the year before that. Last year, I think that, part of the narrative and part of the headline was so many new faces: Seth Lugo and Michael Wacha and Will Smith and Chris Stratton and Hunter Renfroe and Adam Frazier and Garrett Handsome were all these new members of the Royals. And now we're running it back. This is a team that went to the postseason last year, snapped a really long playoff drought, won a postseason series. These guys know what it takes to win and to get to the postseason. And not only that, have now gotten a taste of winning in the postseason. And I think that says a lot about a group that can come into spring training knowing what not only the expectations are from the outside looking in, but also what their internal expectations are of themselves. And they didn't mince words in saying that, yeah, the expectation is to win the division this year. And that is very much attainable in a pretty wide open American League Central. I think you could have said it was attainable last year too, and the Royals were certainly within striking distance of that. The vibe for every team in spring training is always going to be optimism, hope. We can win the division, we can win the World Series. I think you and I would agree that, among the 30 teams, there's probably maybe 12 to 16 that can really say that for real. And the Royals are certainly one of those, and they definitely carried themselves that way throughout the course of the Cactus League season.
So Bobby Witt Jr. has now jumped onto the scene. Fantastic year last year, and now he's basically the MVP favorite in the American League. I read that thing that he wrote in the Players Tribune today. It was fantastic. The idea
how great was that?
It was awesome. The idea of him getting comfortable in his role and being the face of the franchise is such a cool story. How have you seen that play out over his 2 years so far in Kansas City?
Honestly, it's been to see that play out, and I'll go back even further than just the 2 years that I've been lucky enough to watch him up close in Kansas City, because I got to watch Bobby when he made his AAA debut in Omaha, and saw him kind of ascending for the first time there. And he's a goofy but also shy kid that has otherworldly talent, and it's been pretty incredible to watch watch him mature and become not just Bobby Witt Jr. superstar player, but Bobby Witt Jr. superstar human being and adult. He got married this offseason. You know, he's got some years in the big leagues under his belt. He knows his role. He knows his status. He knows the expectations externally and internally. I'll come back to that too, because, you know, one of the things that he said for a couple of years now that has always struck me is, man, like, here's a player that is wise beyond his years and really gets it, is that, you know, he's been projected to be the guy for literally as long as he can remember. For, you know, the last 15 years, he has been the guy. He's been the top prospect. He's been the phenom. He's been the savior. He's been the face. And at every turn, he's had to look inward and say, you know what? It's not so much about proving all of these things people are saying about me right. It's about proving any doubters wrong, but it's also about proving myself right and making sure that I'm doing the best that I possibly can to hold myself accountable for the standards that I set for myself. And then everything else takes care of itself from there. And understanding that as a high school kid, you know, and a number 2 overall pick, and then the number 1 prospect, and then the phenom, and then the face, understanding that every step of the way, that is some next level stuff that is rare. And I really want to underscore how rare that is to have that marriage of pure talent and also incredible mental acuity and wisdom at such an early stage of his life, let alone career. You know, we think of players, you know, their lives as their careers, but like off the field, you know, he's about to be 25 in June. Like, did we have that kind of perspective when we were 25 years old? I don't know.
No,
probably not. Certainly not me. And it's been really cool to see him grow and mature and become, you know, and become the leader in the clubhouse that he is and the face of this team that he's become.
The thing that propelled the Royals and the storyline before the season last year was their starting pitching, and they got everything out of Seth Lugo that they ever could have imagined, and Cole Reagans was steady as an ace and ends up finishing 4th in the Cy Young, and Lugo gets 2nd in the Cy Young, and Michael Wacha was a pleasant surprise. Those guys pitched a lot of innings last year. As you look at those 3 particularly coming back off of really, really good years, what are you sort of expecting as they head into the 2025 season?
Well, I'll start with this, and I have to ask our incredible media relations team maybe to help me out with this one. I got to think, how many teams have had the Cy Young runner-up as part of their rotation and not had him start on opening day?
Yeah.
You know, that is the luxury that the Royals are currently dealing with, where Seth Lugo was the runner-up. He's going to start on Saturday. Cole Reagans was 4th. He's going to start tomorrow on opening day, and that is richly deserved. You know, Cole Reagans is the ace of this staff, but, you know, Lugo was incredible last year, and so was Michael Wacha. And I think when it comes to those 3, the one thing that I'm pretty reticent about when it comes to pitchers is the discourse about, oh, they threw so many innings and they were so good. Could they possibly do it again? It's like, why not? You know, what would lead you to believe that they can't do it again? You know, nobody can ever predict injuries or anything like that. And I think it's silly to sit anywhere and say, oh, you know, they'll probably, you know, fall off because of, you know, workload or whatever. I just find that to be kind of a silly way to look at these things. You know, sure, there's always going to be some regression to the mean. There could also be progression to the mean. And that's true of any player in any situation, pitcher, reliever, hitter, you know, what have you. But I don't think there's any reason to think that they can't replicate what they did last year, at least to a similar degree. I know all 3 of them have, you know, 200 innings on their mind, and Michael Wacha probably would have gotten there if he wasn't hitting the foot with a line drive. Cole Reagans has talked about how he wants to lower his walk rate a little bit. That'll help him get to 200 innings. You know, Seth Lugo, I can report he's added 2 pitches. He's got 11 different pitches now, and so he can mix those up over the course of, you know, what we can hope would be a 200-inning season again. Now, I think that Lugo and Wacha in particular are such veteran, long-tenured pitchers. They know how to get through a major league season. And I think that Cole Reagans, well, he doesn't have the major league service time that those guys do. This is now his 2nd full season as a fully fledged starter. And he has soaked up every lesson from those guys and everybody in between. And again, there is no indication to me to not necessarily expect that they could go out and run it back the way they did last year. That's certainly the hope.
How good is this bullpen going to be with the return of Urseg, and then you bring in Estevez, Hunter Harvey getting healthy, and so many good things about Angel Serpa this spring. How good is this bullpen going to be?
Dude, I mean, what a difference a year makes. Last year coming into the season, it was a matchup bullpen, and J.J. Piccolo said so. This was not a bullpen that was going to blow you away. This was a bullpen that was going to be savvy and win the matchups and X, Y, Z. And, you look at the opening day bullpen this year, and there's only 3 guys in it that were also part of the opening day bullpen last year, and that's Angel Serpa, Chris Stratton, and John Schreiber, each of whom, had their ups and downs over the course of last season. Schreiber was great early on. Stratton was up and down throughout the year, but he's poised for a bounce-back season. Angel Serpa, nobody's looked better than that dude. He is El Marciano. He is the killer on the mound. He just has, this laser focus on the strike zone. And he's talked about how Carlos Estevez has really helped him over the course of spring training, continue to develop. I was talking to Angel the other day when we were in Arlington and asking him what Carlos was helping him with. And he said, he's really helped me learn how to sequence pitches a little bit better. We think about starters doing that all the time and setting up batters for the next at bat or the next pitch, down the road. But relievers do that too. And having a guy like Carlos Estevez, an all-star closer who's been there, done that multiple times over, to be able to, tutor in some ways Angel Serpa, who's still, he's still just getting his feet off the ground. He's been part of our consciousness for so long, but, he's really still coming into his own. And when you add what Serpa could potentially be at the back end of that bullpen as a lefty throwing 99 with some hair, and you add that to Lucas Erceg and then a fully healthy Hunter Harvey, who the Royals were hoping to have down the stretch last year but didn't, this is a formidable bullpen group that is very different from last year's group and can shorten some games. But at the same time, with the starters the Royals have, they may not need to shorten the games. It is a luxury that, on paper, this is a pitching staff that could do some really special things.
It is an excellent setup. I mean, we talked about the starters and you talked about the bullpen, and you pair those things together, and that's what you need in order to have a successful team. Then, Jake, you pair that along with the rest of the American League. I'm not even talking about the Central. The rest of the American League, which doesn't have a front runner, period. I mean, how high can you go
weird, right?
with what you think the Royals are going to be on that scale this year?
So it's funny you bring that up because, every year now I kind of tease Denny a little bit, and I'm like, hey, Denny, I was looking at the Fangraphs projections the other day, and it says the Royals are going to finish, I think it was finish 83 and 79. A couple years before that, and then he goes, have projections. They still got to play the game.
Yeah.
Mean anything. It means, and
Jake, I think we're losing you a little bit. We're cutting out. You still there? Oh no. He went dark. Oh no. Okay. Wait. Just a little bit.
A couple. I think. And so, I don't want, what could happen, at least in terms of the American.
He's still talking. He's all right. Let's
Royals during the.
Jake, you might be done talking now, but we can't hear you all that well. So can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you, Connor. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, you cut out a lot during that, but it sounded like you and Denny are both pretty high on what they could do.
No, so I was kind of saying that Denny thinks the projections are silly, and he's kind of right about that. But the point was that everything is so wide open that there's no team in the American League projected to win more than 90 games in their 50th percentile. That, that's the beauty of it. You've got to play all the games, and every single one of them matters. Tomorrow's game against the Guardians, heck, we may look up in September and be like, man, remember that game on opening day? That one's deciding the division right now. We don't really know. And that's kind of the fun of it. But I think, the world is everybody's oyster, but that includes the Royals too. And we shouldn't discount that.
No doubt about it. One more for you, Jake, before we let you go. What does a good year look like for MJ Melendez this year, who by all accounts has sort of retooled some things in the offseason, and he's going to be put out there in left field, and he's going to be in the everyday lineup. They need him to produce. What do you think this year looks like for MJ Melendez?
Yeah, that is such a good question. I think a good year for MJ Melendez is a consistent year from MJ Melendez. And I don't mean a consistent year of, hitting around 200. I mean a consistent year of hitting maybe around league average, which last year was 240, and adding some of that power that we know he has. He's always been good going the opposite way, especially with power. We haven't seen that as much the last couple of years, but I think for MJ, it's been so up and down the last couple of years where he'll have months that it looks like, oh my goodness, this is the MJ Melendez we've been waiting for. And then he'll have months where it's like, well, what happened? Where did it go? I think a good year for MJ is a year where he maintains a level of consistency and proves that he can be the everyday player that the Royals hope that he can be. That's a big question this year, whether or not MJ Melendez is an everyday player.
Jake, we appreciate you, man. We can't wait to hear you this year on 1620 The Zone and 1180 The Zone. Good luck. Have a great day tomorrow, and we'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you guys, too. Thanks for having me. Always good to chat. And as always, shout out the reigning International League champion, Omaha Storm Chasers. I know their season opens on Friday at Warner Park, too, so I hope they have a great year out there at Warner Park, and hopefully everyone goes to support them and come down to support us in Kansas City a little bit, too. Good to talk to you guys.
See you, Jake.
See ya.
That is Jake Eisenberg. You'll hear his voice aplenty in liners, doing radio broadcasts, things of that nature. The Storm Chasers, by the way, are away for their first weekend. They'll be home on Tuesday for the first time. But, yeah, okay, I'm excited. I left about 6 questions off
What was the one that breaks your heart that you didn't
I wanted to ask
ask
a Vinny question because there's some Vinny. I mean, he's got a little hamstring deal right now. I don't know if he's going to – it sounds like it's on track for him to be in the lineup tomorrow. But everyone's just dreaming about the year that Vinny could put it all together from a health perspective. And, I mean, it's not like last year was bad. He drove in almost 100 runs. He drove in 97 runs. But, played 131 games. Can you get him to the point where he's healthy consistently and missed the last part of the season, but then came back for the playoffs? Can he be a consistent protection for Bobby Witt Jr. in the middle of that order? Because I am never doubting Salvador Perez again. He has drank from the fountain of youth. I'm never going to say the decline is coming from Salvador Perez.
Wow.
It is coming.
It
but I'm never going to say it's now.
Father Time
because
undefeated.
It never seems to be now. He just keeps hitting. And they'll find some more stuff to do with him, get him out from behind the plate a little bit more. But you look around the rest of the American League and you're like, oh, who's going to win this thing again? And if you're wearing royal blue, maybe you're saying, why not us?
I think you will hear why not us a lot towards the end of the season.
Why not us?
And the playoffs.
Why not us? All right, we're back after this on 1620 The Zone.
You the latest sports news, interviews, and life-changing commentary with a smile on his face. Because he wears those ticklish underpants.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Raleigh Worcester is out of the crown. He's opting out. Well, his foot is. So I guess the rest of his body has to as well. He's out. No crown. So if you're picking the Huskers to win the crown, which I think you could do that on some of the.
You can, Connor.
Yeah,
you can.
Let's see here. Let's see.
Third best odds? Is that what Platcat sent us?
No, I got it right here. Yes, third best. So plus 500 are the Skurs to win the crown. What about DePaul? Worst odds plus 1,100 or 11,000. That's garbage. Give me the Mons. Give me the Mons, Josh. Give me the Mons.
The Mons?
Yeah, the Mons, the demons.
Oh,
the Mons.
Is that what we're calling them?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Okay,
that's what they say. Raleigh Worcester's out. Braxton Mia is questionable for the crown. So put that into your. Put that. Just remember that before you go making any crown picks. Elsewhere last night in college basketball, Richard Pitino, little Ricky, is headed to the Big East. Welcome to the Big East, Pitino. Does that sound familiar?
This is real, right? This isn't
yeah, I don't think
what's his name story.
Yeah, I don't know. You were reporting.
Rob Reiner.
Josh was reporting yesterday that UConn was being investigated for something, and I don't think that's true. I don't think that was true.
I mean, maybe it'd just be an all the time thing.
Yeah. Richard Pitino is going to be the head coach at Xavier. I think it's very cute that him and his dad are going to be coaching in the same conference.
Adorable.
I really, truly. I think that Richard Pitino is like a pretty okay coach.
Right.
I mean, he was at Minnesota. Obviously, he was young, and it just kind of ran its course.
He was young, dumb, and needed the money.
It just kind of ran its course there. Went to New Mexico, had some success. Donovan Dent, is he going to bring him along with? If they get Donovan Dent, then
Josh
that
is a big piece of this.
Josh just learned about Donovan Dent yesterday.
I did.
He's really good, and if he goes to Xavier with Pitino, then you're kickstarting things pretty good. Much like Mr. McCollum's going to at Iowa with Bennett Sturts. They'll win some games. They'll be fine. I'm not like totally blown away by the hire, but I think it's a good hire.
You're pleased with it if you're Xavier, right?
Yeah, I think you're fine with it.
Yeah.
I think you're fine with it. But this does cement the Big East as the most Italian conference in college basketball.
Give it up.
That's
Give it
right.
up.
Is it more Italian or more chaotic than the Giants quarterback room?
Oh.
Cutlets.
Oh, that's
Jameis and Russ Bus. Danger Russ. Mr. Unlimited.
I saw something that said, all right, you have to televise these quarterback meetings. And I would agree with that. Yeah. Normally I'd be like, oh, you're stupid. Not everything needs to be a TV show. I would dip into that.
A couple questions here from the text line.
Hi, text line.
Aaron writes in, if Nebraska wins the crown, do they hang it in the rafters?
Great question. Do they have NIT banners?
Yeah, I think when you win that, yeah. When you win the NIT, you hang a banner for that.
I think so.
Nebraska won the NIT.
I'll bet the crown is like, here, you're getting a banner.
Dude, I was watching something, and I know you said this, but it was in one ear and out the other on What to Watch Tonight yesterday. I flipped on my television, and there was something called the Purple Tournament.
Purple CBI.
What the hell was that?
So it's the CBI.
What is Purple?
Purple is the sponsor.
What is it?
What is anything?
Is it
like I don't
tech
even know,
support?
I don't even know how to Google what is purple.
What is purple? Oh, purple mattress.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Purple
I've
mattress.
heard of this before.
I was appalled
Mm-hmm.
when I turned on my television.
Is the court? Are they playing into the purple?
No, it was a normal court, and then everything kind of around it was purple.
Okay.
Like the bases of the hoops were purple, and the writing on the the lettering in the court was purple. They did not do a full purple court, which they probably should have. Alex and Lincoln comments in, what will they do without Worcester? Oh no. Still not have a point guard. It continues. And John texts in, good bleeping Lord, why are we talking about the Crown again? I'm just here to pass along information. That's all. That's all. Riley Worcester's not playing in the Crown. People are broken up about it. And I know nothing about purple beds. And I think the Richard Pitino hire is fine.
I'm obsessed.
Don't put it on the internet that I thought it was good.
I'm obsessed with the news that J.J. Watt.
J.J. White
will become an NFL game analyst and be teamed with Ian Eagle as the number 2 booth for CBS.
Whoa!
This year.
Wow.
That just coming down from Puck.
Wait, just those two?
Yeah.
Whoa. That is a big jump, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be a lot of fodder for Josh Otson this year. You're going to have content.
I might need NFL Sunday ticket so I can watch the Iron Eagle game every week.
You're going to have some content, my friend.
He said a word wrong. What a doofus.
I have no idea if he's going to be good at that job or not.
Not a clue.
No idea. But people love him so much, they probably won't even care.
I
love you, JJ.
Oh my gosh, he's so handsome.
He works so hard.
He tells me how hard he's working. You know, Connor, I love people who tell me how hard they work.
He drinks milk just like me. Oh, he's just a good old Wisconsin boy. All right. That's what they're saying about JJ Watt.
This might be the biggest thing he's ever won in his life.
Mitch Sherman of The Athletic is coming up next on 1620 The Zone.
Who do you want to talk about first?
Mitch Sherman, The Athletic.
He can play. And we need people that can play.
And we'll never be royal. Let me live that fantasy.
Mitch Sherman, The Athletic. On The Connor Happer Show. On 1620, The Zone.
He can play.
All right, we're joined now on the hotline by Mitch Sherman from The Athletic, who is probably as excited, maybe more excited than I am about the Royals. So much so he visited spring training this year to see the Royals, amongst other teams. Hi, Mitch. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm doing well. Yeah, I don't know if I'm more excited, but I'm excited. It's a different kind of excitement this year because there's actually expectations on the Royals, and I don't know. It makes me nervous.
Yeah, but at the same time, maybe they could. If you start looking at the teams, all of a sudden you could convince yourself of some crazy things in the American League side. Anyway, I'm just saying, just watch out. Don't think about it too much.
American League champs, is that what you're saying?
You wouldn't have to stretch much to convince yourself of that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'm thinking about it. I'm more excited.
All right, good. All right, let's talk about Husker football here. As Matt Rhule spoke yesterday, spoke about his. Okay, is this a story? Is the quarterback wait a story? Is this over now?
Both. I think it was a story because Nebraska kind of made it a story. I don't know. Maybe you could say the media or the fans made it a story, but Nebraska fueled the fire a bit with Matt Rhule saying what he said a couple weeks ago. And
yeah,
I know he said yesterday, hey, I didn't say this or I didn't say that. And but he said some stuff and people are always going to take what you say and run with it. And it's going to get messed up in the translation a little bit. So it became a story because of that. And now I think we can extinguish that story because Dylan Raiola looks like he's in shape. I don't know. Unless he has the ability to look like two different people at two different times, I think other people are going to feel that same way when he has some media availability, and that could come as soon as tomorrow. We're going to get Dana Holgerson tomorrow. At the very minimum, we're going to see Dylan Raiola on the practice field tomorrow. There should be 20 minutes or so of time to take in Nebraska's practice. So you'll see some video footage of him. And I think one of the takeaways that the fans are going to have and the media is going to have is that, there's not anything to worry about here. Like Dylan looks good. That's what I thought seeing him yesterday at Pro Day.
Elsewhere, this is something that we talked about on the podcast this morning, Mitch. Rhule is, according to him yesterday, he says he's never really been, more convinced of what sort of the money situation is going to look like, where, they'll have the revenue sharing in-house, the $20.5 million, and then the NIL stuff will have to go through the clearinghouse, which will make it really difficult to do, at least in the sense that how NIL works now, which is not the intention regularly or originally of how NIL was supposed to work. There's a lot that we don't know about this. I wonder why Rhule, obviously, he's gotten some sort of guidance or is hearing things on what it's going to be like going forward. I guess, why do you think he's more convinced now than ever on that side of the coin?
Yeah, he's plugged in with other coaches, and I think he's got people on his staff now. It's a big staff, and he's got some new members of his staff who are probably plugged in places that the old staff wasn't plugged in, and vice versa. So they're different channels of information that are coming to him. And I just kind of stood, my ears perked up a bit too when I heard that on Tuesday that he said he's more convinced than ever, or he's more uncertain than ever that that you'll just be able to pay for play the way it is now. There certainly is no clearinghouse now for NIL payments. NIL payments are unchecked and undisclosed in just about every case. So you don't know what the star quarterback's getting and the star recruit, this transfer. That's according to the book, according to the way that things are laid out with the House settlement. That's all going to go away, and there's going to be this clearinghouse for anything that's over $600. So, as with anything, as we've learned in this new age of college sports, there's going to be unforeseen consequences. Schools are going to look for loopholes, or collectives are going to look for loopholes. We don't know if the judge even allows this to be part of the settlement, this clearinghouse. We don't know. I think you can assume that the NCAA is going to get sued over this.
Yes.
And then how does that usually look?
They love losing. Well. They love losing court cases. The NCAA does nothing but lose court cases now.
So it might just be a short-term obstacle before NIL can go back to being NIL. But right now, we don't know that, and Matt Rhule doesn't know that, and he can't promise much of anything above the revenue sharing, which is a lot of money. Like, let's be clear.
Yeah.
Football is probably going to be dealing with about $14 million to pay its players. And that's more than it had this year and last year, probably combined in NIL money at its disposal. So it's not like the players are going to be taking a pay cut, but you expect this thing to just continue to escalate every year. And there might be a speed bump in that process. Like, you're going to be able to pay the players a fairly good amount. More than they have received in the past. But if you think it's just going through the roof at this like skyrocket pace because NIL is like this never-ending fountain, well, that might not happen, or at least it might hit a bump in the road.
And like you mentioned yesterday, and you did just there, like this has an effect on recruiting, and they're laying low a little bit right now because, like you said, they can't really guarantee anything to anybody at this moment until at the very least they know the rules. Even then, it's difficult. And so, I mean, this is the same position as really every other team in the country. But as Rhule said yesterday, unless you are somebody who likes unfulfilled promises, then you're probably telling people a lot of different things at this moment.
Yeah. I mean, he says he wants to be upfront and honest with recruits. So if you're talking about a 2026 recruit and you don't know what the pool of money is that you're going to have to draw from, if it's going to be simply rev share money and then some small little NIL deals that's largely the way that maybe NIL was originally envisioned way back, get $500 here, $1,000 there. That's peanuts compared to what they're getting now. And it really doesn't even factor in a lot of these conversations. If that's going to be the case, then the recruiting process and what the money that these players are promised, and that's what's happening. They get promised money as recruits. It's different. So they'll still be able to make promises. They'll still be able to draw from that rev share pool. That's not going anywhere. That's going to happen. But the NIL portion of it is somewhat up in the air.
How do you read into the comments from Rhule yesterday about his running back room, where, he has been really adamant every time he's been asked about that position? It's just like, yeah, I think we're fine there. You guys keep asking me about this, but I think we're fine there. We have Emmett and keep saying good things about Quentin Ives and anybody who's coming up behind. Like, I mean, I guess he can't be more, up front with how he feels about the spot. It's just that we look at it and we say, man, it might maybe you're seeing something that I'm not seeing at this point. But he's been pretty steadfast on the running back spot.
Well, one way to look at it is that E.J. Barthel has done a pretty good job in his 2 years at Nebraska of taking backs that haven't done much in college and turning them into productive backs. He's done it. He's done it with Emmett Johnson. His 2 years, and he's gone over 1,000 yards when you put the 2 years together. That came on the heels of just a redshirt season, so he was unproven at the college level. And then Dante Dowdell last year came in from an unproductive or disappointing or season at Oregon, where he didn't get much of an opportunity. And then he had 12 touchdowns last season. So they've shown the ability in this program to develop running backs, or to get production out of previously unproven running backs. And I think they're banking on that with a couple of guys out of the group that includes Quentin Ives, Mekhi Nelson, who redshirted last season, but has dynamic speed, I think is what Rhule said yesterday. And he talked about his competitiveness, and they seem to be high on both of those returning backs. And then the two freshmen. So if you can find a couple hits there that work for Nebraska in a running back rotation this season alongside Emmett Johnson, then you're okay. And that seems to be where they're at. It might just be a case where they need to be there to go back to the money thing, because they don't have rev share money targeted for a running back in the portal. So they kind of have to make it work. They kind of have to do it with what they've got. The rev share stuff is not unlimited. So there's a certain number that they can't go over.
Not totally unexpected here, but Nebraska released the contract details for Pat Stewart. $800,000 this upcoming year, $850,000 next, and then $900,000 in 2027. So $2.5 million basically for the general manager of Nebraska football over a 3-year period. We knew that it was going to be a significant investment. We're still not 100% sure exactly what the day-to-day looks like, but we know it is it's an important job that Pat Stewart has. It appears that the money that he's being paid sort of reflects that idea, Mitch.
And he gets bonuses too, that are similar to like what you'd see for a head coach, like performance bonuses based on postseason appearances, like a bowl game, a college football playoff appearance earns him, a higher percentage bonus. You don't generally see that on a non-head coach. So yeah, they're treating this position like it's one of great importance. And that's the way that this is trending in college football. I think for the one thing we do know about his day to day is that it's going to be full. He's going to be very busy. Like, he's going to be instrumental in Nebraska's decisions about who to offer out of high school and out of the portal, and then also how much to offer them, because they have this financial structure that they have to fit within. That's his wheelhouse. That's what he's done in his NFL time. And then also in evaluating the talent on the roster. Like, they have to deal with, after this year, that they'll have to deal with retention issues every year, and how do you keep players happy within your own program. This year it's there's more to it than that, because they still have 20 some spots that have to be cut from the roster. So I would think that Pat Stewart's going to get down to business and watching film and in watching practice and helping Matt Rhule in those discussions, in those decisions about how to whittle the roster from 133 to 105.
All right, Mitch, we will let you go. Appreciate you taking the time as always, and we will talk next week.
Okay, thanks, Connor.
Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. He wrote a story on the 4 storylines, I believe, of Nebraska football's spring ball that, like, they want to sort of dispel. Obviously, one of them was Waitgate,
which we have dispelled.
As 4 narratives Nebraska football wants to dispel as spring practice begins. It's dispelled. It's over. Conversation over. Nobody's fat. This is not a cookie situation. The big cookie.
It's a good nickname.
I think we should keep saying that, but
let's try it on for a few days, see how it feels.
Yeah. Would you rather us call him, don't make this a poll question, but would you rather us call him the big cookie or Dylon? It's up to you.
Those are your only 2.
Straw poll right now. The big cookie or Dylon? Please make contact with us right now and during the break. On the other side, Josh, how about let's do some MLB picks.
Let's pick it.
I got some takes. I got some things I want to say about baseball. We'll do that when we come back on 1620 The Zone.
let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
Chris in South Carolina writes in on the text line.
Hello, Chris.
Both nicknames are fantastic. No way just one should be utilized. My vote is both need to stay. Dylon, the big cookie.
Dylon, the big cookie.
The big cookie. How has the big cookie not been a basketball nickname yet?
I'll have to look it up. Shaq might have used it for a season.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
He was a Celtic.
That doesn't. I mean, he would have been a big cookie that year. He was. That year he was a Celtic. That's for sure. But I don't. I doesn't ring
Wasn't
a
he
bell.
a Cav once?
Oh, he was many things, Josh. He was many things.
I think it was like, I'm gonna go play with LeBron.
Mason Daniel writes in
it was.
Cookie Belcher, the big Cookie Belcher.
Great pull.
The big Cookie Belcher. He wasn't that big, but yeah. The big cookie. All right, Major League Baseball, Josh.
Baseball.
As I did this, as I really sat down for a while last night, and I really thought about this.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. No, I'm not.
Okay.
That's if that sounded sarcastic, it's not. As I sat down for a long time and I thought about this, the more and more I went on and looked into each of these teams, the more I got confident about my own team.
Mm.
I was telling somebody a couple weeks ago, like, this is the time of year. Well, maybe I was in this position 2 weeks ago and I don't seem to be right now. This is the time of year where I'm overly pessimistic about everything. The Royals are always really good in spring training, and MJ Melendez is doing this, and look at Zerpa. Zerpa hasn't given up a hit the entire month or whatever it is. And I'm like, okay, but what does it mean? Does it mean anything? But there was a good team last year, and they're all back, and most of them are due for the next step in their career, or we're about to find out who they really are, and the rotation is back and the bullpen is better. So I just found myself becoming really sure is a bad word, but I looked at these other teams in the American League and I'm like, what the hell did these guys do? Is everybody just giving up because of the Dodgers? Why would that be the case in the American League?
Yeah.
The playoffs are absolute crapshoot now. They always kind of have been, but
People forget.
Even way more so now. Like the Yankees didn't get Soto and the whole thing fell apart. We're relying on 79-year-old Paul Goldschmidt out here. Cole's on the shelf with Tommy John. Luis Heel is going to be out for a long time. That team doesn't even seem mildly good to me. I have
some big holes.
I have the Yankees missing the playoffs.
So do I.
I have the Yankees missing the playoffs. In the American League East, I'm not totally convinced of anything, but I will give it to the young core of the Baltimore Orioles. The loss of Corbin Burns is significant. They're weak on pitching now.
Mm-hmm.
They're weak on rotation pitching. But give me Baltimore to win the East at plus 310, by the way.
I also have the Orioles winning the AL East.
Yep. So there you go. Josh and I are punching up plus 310 bets right away. Good job by us. In the American League Central, I will take the Kansas City Royals to win the division.
Plus the right choice.
Plus 310. Now, the books and the odds makers all think the Twins, Tigers, Guardians, and the Royals are the same team. But the Royals the Royals have the longest odds. So there's a little bit of value there.
Okay.
And so I have the Royals winning the division, and you can get plus odds on them to win the division and make the playoffs. Plus 124. So
all right.
You agree? We're 2 for 2?
I do.
By the way, this is 2 non-divisional betting favorites that I have winning so far, as does Josh. In the West, give me the Texas Rangers
3 for 3.
All right, this is not good radio.
It's terrible.
Give me the Texas Rangers. Shout out to Wyatt Langford.
That dude good.
He is good. Close personal friend, Wyatt Langford.
Mm-hmm.
Pitching, watch out a little bit. You're going to try and bring up, some young guys and
Kumar Rocker,
Mr.
who's 99 years old.
Yeah, no, he's young, but he just hasn't pitched in the major leagues really yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm down on Houston.
Rangers are going to score roughly 10,000 runs.
I just don't buy Houston.
I don't. Well,
Altuve's moving to left field.
Kind of do. Yeah.
I know you could put a scarecrow in left field because it doesn't matter at that stupid ballpark, which
Yeah.
is now called not Minute Maid Park, which I disagree with.
Oh, yeah.
Dakin,
Yeah.
something like that.
Daikon?
Dakin, whatever it is.
Something stupid.
It's very stupid, but I just don't buy them. They're elevating Cam Smith, who we saw in the College World Series last summer for Florida State. He's a really good player. He's going to start on the opening day roster. I've been fading them for the last 2 years. And now with Bregman gone and Tucker, I just think it's over. It's just Altuve. Jose Altuve looks around the room. And now he's playing left field. He says, what am I doing here?
What am I doing out here?
I'm not a buyer in Houston. So give me the Rangers in the AL West.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, I assume we'll go 4 for 4 because I am picking the Atlanta Braves to win the National League East. I think they're the second best team in baseball.
Oh, that's very interesting that you did that because this may have been an emotional hedge. I picked the bleeping Phillies to win the East.
So everybody's convinced in that division that it's just a war between those three.
Mm-hmm. The third team being the Mets.
Are they all playoff teams?
Mets, Phillies, Braves?
Yes.
I have them all in the playoffs.
I also do, but I was really toying with it at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Really toying with it at the end. Not because of anything that's going to happen in this division that we're going to talk about. In the NL Central, give me the Milwaukee Brewers.
Because they always do it.
We always underestimate them, and I'm just done. They're plus 270 to win the division. Give me that. The Cubs are plus 115. I can't understand it. I don't know how they got that much better from a year ago. It was a fine team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a buyer. I really considered going out on a limb and taking Cincinnati here. But I just felt it as disrespectful to Milwaukee.
Okay.
And I'm not a lover.
Terry Francona?
I'm not a lover of Ellie De La Cruz.
He could win NL MVP.
Yeah, but does it really count if you won NL MVP and you struck out 800 times?
Have you seen how tall he is?
I just don't buy. I don't buy his mega upside trajectory. I mean, I just think he strikes out too much. Sue me. He strikes out too much.
I don't know how much that matters to
No, I guess
vote,
know.
Ooh,
But
he stole a base. Ooh, we hit a home run.
In order to get on base, you have to not strike out.
I guess that is true.
So I don't know. We play in a bandbox. They get a little better in the rotation. I considered it. I considered it, but I'm just not a lover.
Mike with an interesting take on YouTube. De La Cruz has Yasiel Puig vibes. Just flame out real quick.
Potentially. And in the West, I will not be a contrarian and take the Dodgers, who are minus 800 to win their own division.
That's ridiculous.
They're the only team with minus odds to win their division, and it's 800. That means you'd have to bet $800 to win $100 on the Los Angeles Dodgers to win the division. It's not a bet that I would advise anybody to take. Wild cards. Might we differ? So what are we, 5 out of 6? And the only one that's different is because you have an emotional hedge? The Braves are perfect candidate for a really good year.
They're
healthy.
Yeah, they're not going to have the bad
Yeah.
injury luck
Yeah.
that they had last year.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they don't maybe they don't win the division because they don't even really care about the first month of the season. Because I think they're going to hold Strider and Acuna out until maybe even Memorial Day.
Strider looked incredible.
He did
the other day.
He's going to do a rehab strike. I guess he'll be back third week of the season.
He coming.
Schwelly's he's got very good NL Cy Young odds.
What do you mean good?
This is like fourth or fifth best odds to win.
No, he doesn't. Give me a break. Are you serious?
If what I read this morning was accurate,
hold on. Let me look.
I might have misread it. Where's Platt Cat when you need him?
National League Cy Young. No, he's not fourth.
Oh,
it was plus 2,500.
That was Chris Sale. Sorry, I get all these Braves pitchers confused.
It's like in the 10 to 15, which is still amazingly high.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, what? No, I don't believe you. All right, wild cards. In order, give me the Boston Red Sox in the American League.
That's correct.
The Minnesota Twins and the Seattle Mariners.
I went Mariners and Guardians.
You need one more.
And the Red Sox.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think I don't think much about managers, but without Tito, is the magic gone in Cleveland?
Totally
I don't know
fair.
how
Totally
they've done what they've done. And I'm going to keep doubting them until I go blue in the face.
They're sort of like the Brewers to me,
Yeah.
where it's just like, I'm done saying that they're not going to do well.
And will Minnesota be healthy for any stretch of time?
They never are.
Royce Lewis is already out.
Yeah.
Those three guys are like who was the big three? Kyrie, Harden, and Durant. Remember all those three were on the Nets, right?
Yeah.
And they like never played together.
Played a total of 60 games.
That's
together
these
over
guys.
3 years or
That's
something?
Royce Lewis, Byron Buxton, and Carlos Correa. They don't play.
Mm-hmm.
And at a certain point, you have to run into a little better luck there. So give me Minnesota as a wild card. National League wild cards in order. Give me the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I have them in.
Give me the New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies. I really toyed with having the Phillies out here.
Ooh.
And I do think it's possible that somebody I just think it's going to be hard for like San Diego and San Francisco.
They just play the Dodgers too much.
You
right?
play the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, who I think are like a top like 5 to 7 team in baseball.
You're sleeping on the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, you just play them too much. At the same time, the Rockies exist.
Yeah, I guess it might be a push there.
But somebody out of Arizona and the Padres, but San Francisco is really like infrastructurally good. And watch out for like Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and I hesitate to say, but Washington.
Ooh.
But like they could be an up and down, like, oh, what the heck is going on with Washington? They won 8 games in a row.
You're going to have to deal with Dylan Cruz.
And then the other team that nobody's picking to make the playoffs, rightfully so, but that everyone's like, they kind of spent money and they're playing in Sacramento and their name is the Athletics, which means Brent Rooker might hit 50 home runs this year. I don't know. Like there's some A's buzz. I'm dead serious.
Oh no, you're right.
I'm dead serious. There's some A's buzz.
There are people like, hey, they're not going to be awful.
Yeah. So there's my NL playoff teams. Who you
got? My wild cards are Braves, Diamondbacks, Mets.
Okay, so we have the same exact picks.
I believe the Mets will not Mets this up entirely.
Yeah, they were so good without the big stars last year. Like as much as I came to dislike Soto in the postseason last year, I understand how much of a difference maker he is in your lineup. And I think the Yankees are about to find that out big time.
Mm-hmm. He covered up a lot of things.
He did.
For that team.
He absolutely did. And so, yeah, I think the big stories here for me are no Yankees playoffs, and Arizona is really good. Like they could win the World Series,
Mhm.
and I think just every second that we get closer and closer, every second that we get closer to opening day, I feel like the Royals are like the best team in the American League. I'm dead serious. Look at it. Look at the rest of them. Look at the rest of them. They're all in the same position.
Connor.
What?
I got Bobby Witt winning the MVP.
Yeah, I just think that's a good call.
I got him winning the MVP.
That's just a smart thing. Before we take a break here.
Well, who's your World Series?
Oh, I guess I didn't really know. I didn't really think about that. Well, it doesn't make sense to me to pick a World Series.
Who do you have the Dodgers beating in the World Series?
What? No, here's why it doesn't make sense for me to pick a World Series because
you want to pick the Royals and everyone's going to laugh at you.
How could you know? How could you? You're going to put all the playoff teams into a big cauldron, stir them around, and pick 2 out at the end, and that's who's going to be in the World Series.
You can't do a season prediction segment without picking the World Series.
This is the baseball man's version of picking a baseball season. You pick the divisions. Why,
Okay.
Josh? Because you play 162 of them things.
That's right.
And this is who I'm telling you who's going to be good over that. Over 4 games, God knows. I have no idea. Anybody could be. You throw the A's in the playoffs, they might win the damn thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's say Seattle and
they've never done that before.
Atlanta.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, I don't know. Seattle, Milwaukee. What's the stupidest World Series you can think of?
I got Dodgers over the Rangers.
Okay.
And many people asking me for my AL Cy Young pick. Will I go back-to-back with Tarek Skubal?
Will you? He's really good.
He's really good. It's a good ballpark for a pitcher. I'm just going to imagine baseball writers get enamored with Garrett Crochet.
Thank you for picking Cole Reagans, Josh.
Garrett Crochet is the answer.
Damn. Okay. All right. Before we take a break, Jeff Goodman has a tweet.
Oh, hi, Jeff.
Creighton Junior guard Pop Isaacs is entering the transfer portal.
What?
That's what Jeff Goodman
always was a bum.
Never needed him. All right, back after this with the polls. We'll tell you what to watch on 1620 The Zone. All right, so the Polls at Happer show on the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Would you love to have Bobby Witt Jr.'s hair? Well, you know how I'm answering.
I don't think I'd mind.
59% say yes. Do we want to annex Lincoln?
I don't think I want it all.
I think we'd be doing a favor to Lincoln. Get him under a little bit more control, not have stuff going crazy all the time over there, Crime Town.
Plow the roads for them.
63% say they just want to let it burn. No, thank you. If you can't do it with fire, are you a good twirler? No.
That's right.
81% say no. Is the circus a scam? No.
I don't think they're doing what Gary said they're doing.
83% say yes. Wow. Tough look for Circus. Do you know about John Pork?
I don't.
Yep.
I learned a lot today.
81% say no. Have you ever cared about mythical creatures?
Yeah.
No. 70% say no.
What?
And finally, do you love a Larry? Larry.
Yeah. Good name.
I do. It's a good name.
Good stock.
55% say no. They don't love any Larrys.
Wow. Sad.
Those are the polls. Josh, what are we watching tonight?
Watching the NAT quarterfinals on ESPN2. They continue mercifully. Kent State against Loyola Chicago at 6 o'clock, followed by UAB UC Irvine. And then, in just a couple of hours, at 4 o'clock, as God intended, is the Purple CBI Championship game. Played in the middle of the day on ESPN2.
Who does it feature?
Illinois State and Cleveland State, Connor.
Wow. I watched Cleveland State. I watched Cleveland State in their conference tournament.
Oh, hello.
And I think I watched Illinois State in their conference tournament too.
Redbirds?
I was a real sicko that week.
Wow. You're disgusting.
Yeah.
NBA doubleheader on ESPN, fresh off an hour and a half of Pat McAfee today. LeBron James and the Lakers are in Indianapolis to take on the Pacers at 6:30. Followed by Celtics Suns at 9 o'clock. NHL doubleheader on TNT 6:30 puck drop in Chicago for the Blackhawks as they host the New Jersey Devils.
Watch out for them Devil now.
The New Jersey Devils are always on TV.
Dude, seriously. Back-to-back days.
Are they good? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Stars Oilers after that. New movie on Disney Plus, Mufasa, The Lion King.
Whoa.
A
what?
live-action prequel to the original live-action recreation of The Lion King.
Really?
This is the Mufasa origin story.
Whoa.
It wasn't bad. Does it need to exist?
Wasn't
absolutely
there
not.
a Scar origin story lately? Is this the same thing?
Yeah, this is the same thing.
Okay. I'm going to keep an eye on this. What channel? What time?
Disney Plus. Whenever you want.
Oh, great. All right.
And the only thing Josh Peterson wants to talk about today, Apple TV Plus debuts The Studio. Seth Rogen plays the newly appointed head of a fictitious Hollywood film studio. That is a great premise.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Got me interested in some TV.
That's right.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That's what we're watching tonight. That's the show. If you miss anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. The crossover is next.